Chris, once you see it through the delayed feed, there are a couple of pens for you to choose from.
Oh boy!
There's this very fancy one here. Dragons on it, little gem. This is the one I took, because I think it's boss. There is this one. Not quite as heavy, a little easier to use. Oh, this is not good. So either one of those, let me know which one you would like, and I will get it mailed to you.
Okay, can you just send me a picture through text or something like that?
Okay. I got it.
Okay, John's doing it.
I'll send it through Discord.
Orphan's name is hard to see.
Okay.
Gotta get some black outlined impact font on this stuff.
It's a cool setup, though. I love it.
We can see everyone,
Yes.
and their wonderful faces.
Ooh, we are really loud. Me and you are loud on Twitch.
Are we?
Me and you specifically, not everybody.
Mm.
Matt, you might have to turn me and Chris down.
Okay. I just cut you down quite a bit. Let me know how it is.
Okay, test. Sorry, I'm watching the stream, so...
And I can't hear you.
Test. See how loud I am.
Is there a way to turn down Discord volume through OBS? Or whatever,
It's,
Oh, we're pretty quiet, yeah.
So what I have it set up as is it's taking the sound that comes from the
Test.
speakers and putting it on the broadcast.
Okay.
So that way I get the sound and the Discord, and I don't have to pick it up through the mic.
Right.
But it's hard
This is
to
my normal speaking
balance those
voice.
settings.
Hello. Check. 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
Okay. I think we can still hear you.
Hey,
Cool.
guys in red shirt are hot. Said, yeah, Rob, you loud.
Are we good now?
Okay, sorry, I'm back in the Discord. Yeah, it's good now. I was just listening to the Twitch and it sounded good.
Alrighty. Also, I think I like the one that looks like it's carved.
Okay. Yeah, that one's boss.
Wait to send it out as I will have a thing.
Okay.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Honestly, when I was thinking about D&D gifts, I was like, ooh, I could do journals, I could do like fancy fountain pens. Excited to go different.
Yeah, but the route you went is pretty good.
I think people will appreciate it.
I would like to think about gifts, but I'm not much in a position to afford much right now.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I just found out how expensive it is to have a baby.
To have what?
A baby.
Yes, that is incredibly expensive.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, let alone 2!
Double of everything.
Luckily, you only have to pay for 1 delivery.
Like,
Buy one, get one free? Is there a special at the hospital?
but like,
I can't tell if you guys are frozen.
so twice the clothing.
Are you guys moving? Rob and Chris? No, they're frozen.
Technical
Oh, there it
difficulties.
goes.
Stream.
Yeah, it's just on you. Me and Chris are fine in
So we
Discord.
can see each other in Discord, moving and whatnot.
Oh, you're moving now. Okay, I think we're ready to start.
I think so too. Hello world, you can see my face now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I feel like I have to sit up straight and actually look presentable, you know?
At a whole new level.
Or I get back to my like sexy pose that I had that one time, you know?
Those are pretty great.
I mean,
photos.
do like
Show me
a
a Chris off your butt.
sprawl.
Alright, so first things first. Hello everyone, I am Matthew Arnold, the Dungeon Master, running this excellent campaign in the homebrew land of Dandruid. We play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to start with Orphan today.
Hey, I'm a half-orc blood hunter who's along for the ride to go end the cultists and their menace. Yeah.
Alright. Over here we have Luke the Loot.
I am Luke the Loop, but I play the liar, but I'm not a liar. And my hope is to help this party, and I am playing a human bard.
Face.
Primarily the face character, yes.
Right, then we have Mira the Stormbringer.
The half-elf sorcerer and last remaining member of the Ebony Order, who is now traveling with a new group of companions to try and complete the quest to the Breath of Souls.
Alright. Joining us online, we have... First we'll go with Fluff. Fluff Furfist.
Heyo. Fifth Fluff Furfist here. Most people just call me Fluff. I am a Tabaxi rogue. And her main goal right now is trying to shepherd this unruly crew on their mission to the Breath of Souls. However circuitous that route may be.
Word charcuterie.
And joining us for a short time more, our guest player from an old campaign, Kamen.
Hello, my name is Gaiman, or Gaiman, as some people would say incorrectly. I am a sorcerer bard half elf. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
You are old.
Like 50. It's like,
Well, I just gotta add one more text thingy-mabobber.
Hey, why don't you do this all the time?
This is great.
hurt your stomach. Don't do it.
No. My wife stopped it. I spelled Kamen correctly.
Let's copy and paste it from a different thing. We're doing on screen.
Punch it.
Okay.
Adjusting percussive maintenance.
Alright, so on our last session, when we first started off, a member of the party had an interesting dream. Luke, what happened in that interesting dream?
There was a bear. A random bear that was flying, and I rode said bear into the clouds, and as we came down back onto our airship, a lightning bolt of a dark purple energy struck me, the bear, and the airship that we were flying on in my dream. And then I awoke and found out that the lightning bolt actually happened, and I don't know if it was me or if it was something else that manifested this lightning bolt because it happened in my dream. But I would assume that it was, I'm assuming that it was Zer, who we battled recently, and Zer used the exact same lightning bolt attack on me during that battle.
Out of everyone, you would definitely be the one that could probably recognize it as being a Zerable.
I got struck by said Zerable, so it hurt a lot.
It was not fun.
Yeah, not to be a bother, you spelled my name wrong.
How is
The
it
H,
that?
the H and the Y need to be flipped.
Oh, my bad.
I mean,
Damn,
no
I
one
have to get
pronounced
the
it.
on-screen keyboard again.
Why? Just replace the H. You don't have to replace the Y.
True.
Oh, that is true. Let's see.
I believe in you.
That's my name.
Okay, there we go. All fixed up.
Thank you.
Alright, so you had the... So at the tail end of Luke's dream was when the lightning bolt happened. Everyone on the ship either awoke from their sleep. I think everybody actually ended up falling asleep because our poor fifth buff Furfist rolled a natural 1 and ended up dozing off up at the helm. And was also awakened from their slumber by the thunderous sound of the lightning bolt striking through the ship. Orton, what happened?
Well, we got up to the deck of the ship only to realize that it struck right through the ship's deck right into the room of our good old friend Oslin, and he is gone. Which I don't think any of us are really too upset about, but
So,
Oh, what does this mean for me now that Oslo is...
I mean, she saved his ass how many times? And now he's just gone, and he was the only other member of the Ebony Order that Mira started this whole journey with. So now she's the only one left. And she's seen Gone, Gira, Tega, Oslin, and Volsier have all been disappeared in some sort of manner.
Yep. Either dead or gone. Flash both.
Yeah.
why not?
It's almost like calling yourself the Ebony Order was somehow a bad omen or something.
Yep. One left.
Nah. What? You better watch your back.
Breath of salt.
More like the death of Mira, am I right?
I have another character prepared as much as it hurts.
Alright. So you had the figured out Oslin was disappeared. Got struck by lightning, presumably. Afterwards, don't believe a whole lot happened. You had a little conversation with the two members that you picked up on the cliffside, and the Wrangler.
Yep.
What's the Wrangler's first name?
Paul.
All right, Mira, inspiration. Sorry, you almost had it, Katie.
Well, we did see a glimpse of the ship from the clouds.
That's true. Was that you
No,
that
that
got
was
the
me.
natural
Yeah.
fucking 20? So, what happened, Orphan? What did you think?
we, as we're moving on, the lightning bolt struck. Orphan happened to catch a glimpse up in the clouds of the black whole of the ship just ascending through the clouds.
Just barely.
Just barely there.
Yeah. That natural 20 was. You could not have seen that with any other roll aside from a natural 20. So good job, Oda.
But it ended up ultimately not really being much.
Yes. I think you ended up. You saw that, alerted everybody. Everybody was kind of on the watch for a little bit.
Yeah. We went up to, broke through the clouds, but then we didn't find anything with the ship.
Just to kind of look around, maybe see if you could find the ship. There's no sign of it. I think somebody else did end up rolling a natural 20 once you were above the cloud line, but somebody else rolled a natural 1 and kind of fudged it up a little bit. So, nothing happened there.
Bro, I'm going through some shit right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Had a crazy dream.
There was a flying bear.
Bears just are your kryptonite, I guess.
No, crazy dream with the lightning bolt that I was struck with. That's called PTSD. Alright?
Probably.
I get it.
I think that's everything.
All right, so you had your conversation with Raxus and Paul. Was there any new information there?
There is some sort of creature,
Oh, yeah.
as far as anyone is aware, most likely, that guards the breath souls, because all animals and
Living beings.
non-plant life forms within a certain area of the breath of souls just don't exist.
And it can be assumed that the Wrangler and his travel companion, Tom, they're not weak by any means. You can assume that they, have some power between the two of them. So the fact that the Wrangler said they did not want to get too close to the Shattered Heights means that there's probably something pretty nasty up there.
Why are we in here? Like,
What's your quest?
Save the world?
So at the end of the session, I believe it was it's finalized. The Breath of Souls should be reaching the Breath of Souls or the Shattered Crown or Shattered Heights, whatever it is, should be there by dawn.
Yep.
By morning. So everybody went off either to bed. Fluff, I believe, went back up to the helm to help navigate, just in case that wily arrow sign points in another direction for whatever reason. But it seemed that Paul confirms the morning you should be at the Shattered Heights.
How did Paul say it, though?
Don't remember his exact word. You just want me to talk in his accent?
Maybe.
I don't remember exactly what he said, okay?
He said you'll be there by now.
Was it by high noon? Or
Oh my god.
Nope.
We like to give negative inspiration.
I don't have any, so
No.
Zara
Well,
took
if you're an
all
old
my.
man, you can go classic TF2 engineer, right?
There we go.
Oh, nothing. Good. Good.
I missed something.
Okay, better.
Alright, so the majority of the night goes by. And since you have been up through the entire night, Bluff, as you are on the bridge. Dio is currently napping on the cot in the bridge area. Is at the helm. The Wrangler enters. He looks at you, and you can see his eyes seem to be kind of gleaming a little bit. They're kind of they're kind of glossy, like after you've been drinking. Your eyes get a little glossy. They kind of look like that. And he comes up on the bridge. He's got a one of them telescope dealies. I don't know what they're called. Spyglass. He's got a spyglass. He comes up on the deck of the ship and puts it up to his eye, looking out the window ahead of you. Kind of nods to himself. Oh, snap.
That's just
But I wish I need my strolling space. What? No logos.
No sponsored content.
Not really sponsored by Dr.
All right. The Wrangler is on the deck. Seems to have confirmed the location you're going in. He looks over at you, Fluff. Seems about right. Could be getting there about first light, so. Anything happen through the night? I think you're muted, Chris. Or you're fucking with me.
No, there looks to be panic. There's Finger.
Finger.
This has got a nice goatee going on, right? Beard.
Thank you. Yeah, I just right down with my head.
There, are we
Yeah,
back?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, Chris.
I accidentally unplugged one of my devices, and when I plugged it back in, Discord went weird with the
Yeah.
setting.
Happens to me every time.
Yeah, so you said it's already been through most of the night. Would we be getting close to what would be first light as
Essentially, the Wrangler comes up on the bridge probably a couple of hours before dawn, confirms the route, and then looks to you saying he thinks that you will still be there by dawn. Maybe a little after dawn.
does it seem to be just straight ahead of there?
As I can tell.
Can I do you mind if I take a look and you kind of tell me where I'm supposed to be looking to see what we're looking at?
Looks you up and down with the spyglasses. Assume you could see the dome.
Yes.
Here. Should be, and as he hands you the spyglass, he kind of points straight ahead. Like, if you look off in that direction, you should see a cluster of large mountains. Gonna be in there. Alright, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'll take a look in that direction. You said perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can give you an assist here. Wrangler rolled an 8. It's not a real.
Alright. No, Fluff got a 22.
Alright. So you see right where he points, there is a cluster of mountains, rather large mountains. Even at the height you're flying, you can see that you'll have to go up higher if you want to get over the crest. And being like you're already like on a sprawling like mountain range. And then these are mountains on the mountain range. So we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of feet up in the air. The captain probably would have warned y'all, Reich as well, but going much higher, the air quality is going to get real low. It's going to start getting real hard to breathe, which is why they're keeping the current course they're at.
Very well. Probably makes it a little bit more difficult to fly ships anyways as well. So, are we going to, in your certainly more seasoned opinion than ours, are we going to have to land the ship before we actually get to the crown then, or?
I really hope not. I imagine the ship should be fine. He kind of looks over at Reich, who's sitting in the pilot chair right now. Reich looks at you. Yeah, we should be able to go up higher and get into the mountain range.
Really?
You could go higher than that?
Where does Greg hail from exactly?
He's a goblin.
Alright.
He's from Cloud.
He sells
Sounds
ships,
like-
and the ship
So,
shop is Greg's Floaters.
It's weird that the Cloudheim has Cockney accents down there, huh?
I was thinking about it the other day. Greg's name is actually Greg Floorsbane. I just thought it was funny that he sold you a ship that was missing part of its floor and Brody fell through it.
I thought Brody just broke a hole through.
Either way.
Trashed.
Either way.
There was already a hole in it, and he stumbled out of it.
Well, I suppose we should put ourselves on a little bit of an upward trajectory so we can get on these mountains. But is there a way to, measure air quality, air density, and all that? Or are we just going to have to take note of how difficult it is to breathe?
That sounds like some fancy instruments there. I never heard nothing like it. Testing air quality. That's something. Maybe we can get something invented for that. I reckon we should probably wait for the
We're
rest
just talking about a year then. Very well. Guess that's Mr. Greg, I suppose. Just take it up slowly but surely. Let's try not to shock everyone's systems by going too high too quickly, I suppose.
The Wrangler takes a spyglass back from you and passes it over to Greg. Points out the direction that you need to go. Points the mountain range out to him. Since Greg has night vision, we'll see if he is able to see it. Let's see if he gets an assist. Nope. Okay, that's cool. Greg takes the spyglass from the Wrangler and kind of looks for a few moments. Fluff, if you want to maybe roll an assist check as well, after it seems like the Wrangler and Greg aren't really getting it.
Yeah, I assist. I rolled a 12.
Much. Okay. Greg is able to find the mountain range, the Shattered Heights, and after fiddling with a few gizmos, you can see the ship slowly begin to rise as it continues forward. The Wrangler looks at you, Fluff. Well, I'm gonna probably go back to the rooms and knock on some doors, waking everybody up. Maybe we can all meet in the mess hall, have a little chit chat before we get going.
How urgent do we need to be with this sort of meeting, or should we let everybody get their full rests in?
I reckon it's been long enough. They'll get their long rest.
A long rest? What? I don't understand.
You know, for like a long period of time, resting, roughly 6 to 8 hours.
Uninterrupted.
And I reckon
not know the word
count
all.
as
I understand all the words you just said, but together they don't necessarily make any sort of contextual sense. But do what you will, I suppose.
Start throwing dice.
I'll be here.
sounds mighty fine. He walks off the bridge and presumably heads towards the crew quarters. Each of you gets a knock at your door by the Wrangler. Start with Mira. You're tapping at the door. The Wrangler's standing there, he looks at you. We should be arriving in a couple of hours. Figured we might want to have some breakfast and maybe chat before we get to our destination.
Okay. Are we meeting now then?
Yeah.
I'll be
Luke.
I open the door. It's early.
Alright. We'll be arriving in a couple hours. Figure we should probably get some breakfast and have a little meeting. Let chit chat before we
It's gonna take us a couple hours to eat breakfast and have a meeting.
Alright, he did it in an hour before you get
Oh.
You have
Okay. Yeah,
30
sure.
minutes.
Should I show up?
for time?
Should I? I need my beauty sleep. Okay. Should I go there prepared, or are we gonna have time for me to come back to my room and get armored up and all that?
Listen, I'm just trying to wake everybody up so nobody's still sleeping when we get there. If you don't, want to take your time, that's totally up to you, my friend.
I'm like, I'll see you soon there.
I'll be in the mess.
I shut my door. I turn around. I'm gonna gather up my armor and things like that. And I'm going down there fully prepared for whatever shit's about to happen.
So, because Mira at this point has been sleeping in her armor, because that's life, I'm gonna just make sure the hair is all pulled back and neat, and then I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Wrangler moves on to Orphan's room. Tap.
Get up and open the door.
We're going to be arriving about a half hour or so. Thought you might want to come on down, get some breakfast, and maybe chat a little bit. Come up with a plan before we arrive with the souls.
Sure, I'll be there.
I'm going to go get Varaxis.
Okay.
Mira, you knock on Luke's door?
I'm like, just a minute. I'm gonna finish putting on all my stuff, and then I'll go into the door.
Minutes go by. At this point, Wrangler goes over to Cayman's door. Crack.
I don't think I have a door currently. I'm sleeping outside in the little dome thing.
Did you put that up on deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
you invite Rax?
they sleep in there with me? Because otherwise he can't get in there.
Yeah, Raxus and Wrangler are both sleeping up on the deck of the ship, and if you invited them, they would have joined you.
Oh yeah, we can just walk in then.
So Wrangler gets up on deck, goes over and shakes Raxus asleep, grumbles and puts up a bit of a fuss, but wakes up. Then he goes over to you. What's your passive perception?
23.
Passive perception?
What?
Yeah, that's just what I have.
Okay, so it's let's still. I keep forgetting your level. 13, 17?
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Christ.
Also, I did with the bard double proficiency on perceptions, and so I have a one modifier.
Yeah.
12.
That's beautiful.
Love it.
Wait,
So
that's
you-
not right.
As Wrangler is waking up Raxus, you come to consciousness and see him over there. Hear him saying, we're going to be arriving in about 30 minutes. Get up, go get some breakfast, meet us in the mess hall. He looks over to you after he's finished with Raxus.
Not in my head.
He nods. It's down below.
I'll head down there to start reading first before I eat. I'm heading down there pretty quick.
Alright. Mira, Luke.
I answer the door. Good morning.
Wait for a moment.
What do you need?
I was hoping to talk to you and get your help with something.
Okay. Come on in. What's going on?
I was hoping you could help me with something. And make something, but I don't know if I can do it myself.
What are you trying to make?
It's difficult to explain. You know magic. You cast spells and whatnot.
Yes.
And how do you do?
I'm gonna pull out my lyre and like magical pixie dust. I'm gonna catch like prestidigitation and have like pixie dust. Magic.
Do you sing a song while you play? You just play your
No, I just play my instrument. Yeah, just some musical notes coming off the strings and just like a light show starts happening.
Alright. Different colored like notes floating in the air.
Yeah.
So you have your instrument.
Yeah.
And did you go to school?
Yep.
Did you read books and learn spells?
I went to school. I read some books. I wasn't very good at reading books, but I did have books that I was supposed to read.
See, I don't do that.
Okay.
I mean, I've read a lot of books, and I've read about wizards that read books and they learn spells and they prepare those spells each day.
Yeah, those people are too
And-
smart for me.
I know about druidic magic and how they harness energy and magic from nature,
Okay.
but I don't read books for magic. It's not like it's something that I've studied and learned. Yes, I've studied Arcana in general, but for me, casting spells is more instinctual.
So what are you trying to create? Magical book?
No. It's almost like I can feel energy around,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Like there are just strands of it that I can harness and put into magic. It's not like I have a set spell list that I follow, per se.
So what are you trying to harness then?
It's not a common ability as far as I...
So
But
you're trying to
it's
harness
not-
something you don't know.
But
When was the last time you tried it?
well, in Guild Hall a couple days ago, but before that, it's been years.
What happened a couple days ago in the guild hall? Did it work?
Not exactly.
I'm trying to remember if Luke noticed the masons that were running.
I
back
did.
and forth.
I did. I never asked about it. But now, So, did you do that in the basement? Where the masons were rebuilding the basement? Was that you? You're not planning to do this on the ship, are you?
No.
I was thinking the same thing.
Let's not blow up the ship, okay?
Sometimes you just gotta check it out.
Sometimes I can harness the energy around me and bind it to an item.
Okay. So, like an enchanter.
Not quite. Enchanting objects takes time. And it's a consistent process that you go back to every day. It's not necessarily instantaneous, but within an hour, I can bind this energy to a weapon or to an object.
So what? Stop beating around the bush. What are you trying to get at?
Before you joined us, well, or anyone on this ship joined us, we were attacked in the guild hall by banshees or wraiths or specters. I'm not quite sure what. And I remember waking up and I opened my door and there's just this face staring at me, and then all of a sudden it felt like I was locked in my own head. Like I could see out of my body, but I couldn't control myself. Something else was in control of me. And I was kicking and screaming and trying to fight my way out of it, but I couldn't.
That sounds terrifying.
And I remember walking down the stairs to the main hall where Oslin was sleeping. And whatever it was having me search through his things and take his weapon, and if Holsteer hadn't stopped me, I think I might have killed him. And then it kind of turned into an all-out brawl, and it used my magic against
That
Now, I don't know what we're going to find in the breakfasts, but I feel like we might find more of these. We saw them on the Cultist ship the first time we found it, in the sewers. We can find it. Thank you.
So what are you trying to do? Find something that would protect you against them?
About magics that can protect people against undead and fiends and other creatures like that. And I was hoping that I could maybe create something to keep them from taking control of me.
Well-
So that at the very least, it won't hurt me.
Unfortunately, I don't know any of those spells, so what are you looking for from me?
It takes a lot of focus and control to be able to harness the energy into something.
So are you just looking for somebody to stand by your side and, maybe give you some inspiration while you try?
Yes. I wouldn't necessarily want you right there because I realized it can backfire very strongly.
Well, wait. Question. What you're doing is magical, right?
Yes.
Well, if you need me right by your side, what if I put on that stupid helmet that, What, do you think that might protect me?
I don't
We
know.
haven't seen the helmet used really, but it does absorb magical energy.
With that helmet, I don't remember if I really described it a whole lot,
You never did.
but for a good mental image, think of the X-Men movie that never happened, X-Men 3, the Juggernauts. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah,
Bingo.
I was thinking like literally, like if you wear that by itself, it looks like the dumbest piece of
so
like it. But it's
So
But if there was a full armor of that shit, it would look badass, right? But the helmet by itself, I'm assuming just a big old piece of rock.
That's
Yeah,
what
cool.
it is.
Yeah. What if I wore that? You think that might protect me? Like,
I mean, I'm hoping that it won't be an issue. Oh, if it might at least protect you from some.
well, we can give it a shot, but you know we need to have if this might take an hour or so, it might you know, we might not have that amount of time.
I mean, you know, and I know I don't want to try this on the ship. It's just got flying.
Yeah, so maybe you talk about it with the group, and if the group's okay waiting an hour once we land and you going off and finding yourself a spot, maybe. But you should leave that up to the group, because I also think we should get going as quickly as possible once we're there, just in case you know, the cultists are following us or whatever. You know, we might not have the luxury of a spare hour.
Just, I want to run it by you and see if you will.
I am willing to help as long as the group is okay. Like, I don't want to just. I'm not going to stop you, but it might not be advantageous for us to wait once we land.
Just afraid of what's going to happen once we do that.
Well, luckily, hopefully, a skilled sorcerer or whatever Cayman is, maybe run it by them and see if they can. They might be able to help you out. If they are, he seems to also be able to inspire people the same as me. So maybe not as good, but you know, that's a whole nother story.
Light freak bigger than yours.
Let's see
I
how you
use a knife.
I see your inspiration is
I
as
took
big
all
as
the bard
mine.
levels I need. I don't need to think about being a bard anymore. You can do that whole rigmarole.
Got the double proficiency you wanted.
Fluff also took all the part level she needs.
Everybody's a part bard. All right.
No, Fluff took no of the bard. I'm gonna guess.
Yep, that.
That
Sounds
tracks.
about like the right level of sarcasm for Chris.
You get a bard level, and you get a bard level.
Hey, Chris, you want to go smoke a cigar?
We had a whole thing on our other group chat about cigars and whiskey earlier.
Ooh, whiskey.
About how me and Chris are, you know, great at doing it and not do it all the time.
Oh, really? Fantastic, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow I ended up a judge of the
Cigar
cigar
board.
smoking guys.
As far as I know, we're still on recess.
Oh, I said it to death.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
Alright.
I know nothing about whiskey, by the way, but I know a lot about cigars.
I'm the other way around.
I thought it was the other one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, so Mira and Luke.
We should probably, you know, the Wrangler is meeting us down there, so if you want to propose this to the group, now is probably the time to do it. That being said, I don't think you need to give them the whole explanation of everything. Just, you know, let them know, hey, you need some time once we land. The Wrangler seems like he's got some pretty important information to tell us. But who knows? Paul is a simple man.
Hopefully, whatever it is, will be helpful.
Alright. Do you finish up the conversation, head down to the mess hall?
Yeah, as I'm finished, like, my light show that was happening was still floating in the air. And so I looked up, and I see the floating music notes. I'm like, get out of here, and brush it away, and it all goes away, and then I'll.
Before we do that, I'll look at him and help swirl him head first.
You're like trying to bat him out, and you're just like making him spin around. Like... So everybody except Fluff, I believe, is now down in the mess hall. Got some breakfast and is all sitting around a table. Varaxis and Wrangler sitting next to each other, just kind of chowing down, trying to get their energy up for the big day ahead. Wrangler looks around at everybody. Well, what's the plan?
Were they gonna come back and get me, or am I just...
He kind of just assumed that you would come and join them. He didn't really ask him to come back and get you.
So as he starts, I'm gonna look around and see that Fluff is missing, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, we need to probably go get Fluff." So I'm gonna run up to the helm and grab Fluff.
Alright. So Fluff, you're up on the helm. Luke, the Loop, arrives.
Hey, Fluff, we're meeting now. Did you know that we were meeting?
Yeah, I assume he's gotten everybody awake now?
Yeah, we're all awake. If you're ready to come on down. Did you get any sleep last night?
During my shift on the bridge?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh. Alright, you okay, alright, well we'll talk about that later, I guess. You probably should get some rest at some point.
I mean, I've been sleeping most of the day on our journey here, but I appreciate the concern.
Alright, let's head down. Maybe get some food.
I will start packing up some of my maps and whatnot that I have on whatever table I have here, since I assume we're getting close to disembarking. And then I will head off to the mess hall.
I think probably about this time you're gonna start seeing pre-dawn light. It's not up yet, but you're starting to get a tickle of light coming. Everybody meets in the mess hall. Dio included. Wrangler looks around. Eat a plate of food. That's the question. What's the plan?
I'm gonna stand up and strike forward on my lyre. Not my lute, because who plays a lute? Weirdos. Friends, allies, and I look over at our new friends, newly made acquaintances. We have a mission. None of us really know what that entails, but you know what? We have a mission, and we're gonna do really, we're gonna do great. Okay. There might be cultists. There might be a terrible creature on this mountain. None of us really know what's going on. But you know what? We're gonna do great because we're all fantastic people, and we're gonna work together. That being said, I hope that today goes well, and yeah.
Well, aren't you just filling us with confidence?
I am using my. I'm gonna continue to ramble for the next 9 minutes, so I get a full 10 minutes, and I'm using my inspiring leader, so everybody gets 11 temporary hit points until their next short rest.
Very nice.
And I'm just gonna ramble because honestly, I'm kind of more nervous about this whole thing after getting struck by a lightning bolt in my dream. But you know what? I'm gonna continue to ramble, and then I'm gonna start talking about my dream a little bit, about how this flying bear was. I feel like he was the friendliest little thing, and like bears are a very nice animal, and why would somebody strike this bear out of the sky with a lightning bolt?
At about the 10-minute mark, you notice that kind of like waiting off it to the side, waiting for you to finish, is the captain and Brody. They're just kind of standing there. Seems like they have something to say.
Yeah. So, I read this this weird language translated bear into Ursa. I'm not really sure. Like maybe that language is really cool, but like Ursa, like a flying Ursa, that's so cool. Oh, hi, Captain Brody. How are you guys? I'll continue that story later.
Please don't.
Wow.
We're doing good. Brody is something he needs to speak with you about. She kind of steps aside, and Brody takes a few steps forward. It's since we might be landing soon. Thought I'd bring it up. I was going to repaint the name inside the ship. The ship's name is currently the Horse Pocket.
Excuse me.
So, I didn't know if a respectable group such as yourselves would want to keep such a name for your ship. But,
Are you telling me this entire time we've been flying out this profanity?
Yeah. I spoke to Greg about it.
I'm so happy right now.
Is Greg here?
No, he's still up on the at the helm. I spoke to Greg about it, and he confirmed the name of the ship is indeed the Horse Pocket. Gave me a bit of information on the origin. If you want to know,
I want to know that story later.
I'm gonna talk.
I'm fairly sure we can guess some of the details, but
Question for you: how much do you think it's gonna cost to repaint the ship?
it's already factored in. I have the supplies and everything. It's already loaded up. I just
But
need to know what
just
name.
rough estimate. How much do you think that costs? All the supplies and the
Just to repaint the name.
repaint the ship. That's what you're doing, right?
Just the name. I'm not going to paint the whole ship.
Oh well, how much is it gonna cost you to repaint the name?
Maybe a few silver of paint.
Ah, okay, never mind. I was gonna see about Wright gave us a horribly named ship. Maybe you'd give me a discount.
Bitch!
I paid so much money for this ship, and it's named the beautiful, the beautiful lady's pocket.
I believe the man said whore.
Thank you.
The lady of the knight's pocket. That's so inappropriate.
So, if you have any other suggestions, what name you'd like me to paint on the side of the ship. Otherwise, I suppose I'll just go over the old name with a fresh coat.
Well, did I tell you about my dream?
Familiar
No.
language you mentioned.
I was listening a little bit, but I only caught the last half. Something about a bear.
Well, wait, Mira, what was I was talking about a bear that was flying, and this bear, it resembled the ship a little bit. Maybe the bear. I don't know. Mira, what were you saying?
I'm familiar with the language you're talking about. It's a very archaic form of common. My dad uncle used to use it. Apparently they had a war captain that used it for code. But if you're wanting flying Ursa or flying bear, I believe it's Ursa Atlantis.
Ooh, that's a nice name. I like that name. No one else is here to disagree with me, so I'd say do that.
Did you say no one else is here to disagree with you?
Yep, you're right.
This isn't my ship.
Fluff, what do you think about Ursa Volantis as a name? A flying bear? Like, that's kind of cool, right?
I mean, I'm just as fine with the Horror's Pocket.
Why did everyone have to keep saying that? Oh my god! It's so rude.
It's
By sexual natures.
She's probably a very nice lady.
It's only rude if you deem it rude. I'm fairly sure most of what you would call ladies in the night have reclaimed the word for themselves. So
I'm proud of them for it, but that's not exactly proper.
who's to say this ship did not previously belong to a lady of the night?
I will. My guess is some rude person owned it, and I don't want to know the story. No. We're not naming it that.
Well, we wouldn't be naming it that. We'd be keeping the name.
I will pay this few silvers to make it a different name.
I mean, he did say it's already factored in. We've basically already paid for it.
I will repaint it myself. Think about the Ivory Sanctum. Are they going to be proud of a ship flying the Lady of the Night, or the Night of the Lady? It's pocket like.
Let me verify that for you. No one will care.
Precisely.
Okay,
You must not get
Okay,
out
hey,
of Ivory
hey.
Sanctum very much.
Cayman, you brought up that I have to do paperwork, right?
I mean, someone does.
And no one else here is volunteering to do the paperwork. So I am putting my foot down. We are not naming it. Wait a second. When it says pocket,
Have you just realized?
I am not writing it down.
Okay, I don't care. It's not my ship,
You're
as I said.
so boring.
No, I'm not writing that down unless someone else wants to do the paperwork.
I'm just trying to
Really
deal
sure
with
we should be doing paperwork on all this?
Cayman told me I had to do paperwork, so is it in the bylaws of the guild that I have to do paperwork?
I mean, it's strongly encouraged. Also, you can just do it in your spare time.
That's a no.
The thing is, the less people know about the Breath of Souls, perhaps the better.
Well, see, that's why you give it to somebody in charge who then makes the decision as to the importance and the classification of how secret the documents are, such as someone very respected in the guild that's been in there for a long time.
Like Ragnar.
Such as Ragnar. Ragnar has been MIA for, I don't know.
Oh, so like
And
Well, like,
far
Lila.
as we know,
Is this in character?
Yes,
You're talking
this is
about
in
Ragnar?
character. Yeah.
Yeah, also reading a book in character.
Raxus will speak up as you mention Ragnar. That's my grandfather.
Wait, what?
Oh, really?
Raxus Stonewall. Stonewall.
Oh, well, what do you know?
How old are you?
Maybe you and Cayman have something to talk about.
How old are you?
Sure. I lost count at like 16.
I think you must be about 16. Are you 17?
That's entirely possible.
Ragnar had their child very young, and their child must have had a young child. Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you know much what's happening with your grandfather recently? I haven't talked to him in quite a while.
Yeah.
Was that?
Ragnar.
Yes, your grandfather?
Yeah.
What's...
Do we have more important things to be discussing right now?
Honestly, I assume he's just back home.
Okay,
I don't really keep up with
We've
him.
had like a 10-minute conversation about the horse pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and follow this
Once again,
train of thought.
I'm gonna take a piece of paper and write down and confer with Mira, Ursa Volantis, and write it down, make sure the spelling's correct, right? And then I'm gonna give that over to Brody while this conversation is happening.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, I don't know much. We'll have to talk more about this later because
Just
I
a
don't
short
know.
conversation. Essentially, what you find out is Ragnar had a son. Well, one of his sons mated with a half giant, and hence Raxus.
So Raxus is actually quartered.
Yeah, that's why he's fighting with me.
Wait, what race is Raxus?
Human.
Human? Yeah, he's just a big
That's-
human.
Human.
He's big.
giants!
His son.
Yeah, so if you're talking a female,
But still, giants!
female half giant, those are whippers.
They can be. There's a lot of different kinds of giants. Not all ugly.
Be a giant, beautiful one.
Alright, so what was the verdict on the name of the ship?
So during the whole entire conversation, I wrote that all out. I wrote Ursa Volantis and I handed it to Brody. I'm like, that's the name.
So Brody takes the paper and kind of like takes it, looks at you, looks at Mira, looks at the rest of the group. Ursa Volantis, then.
Yep. There you go. The writing's right there. I am not. Yep.
He seemed set on this, so
I still think the horse pocket would be better.
Alright, so before we make this canon, we're gonna have to wait for Theo's input. But for right now, it's looking like probably going with Ursa Volantis.
I mean, Dio's not here.
Alright. After you hand the paper to Brody, Brody looks back at the captain. The captain kind of gives a salute to the group of you at the table, and the two of them head out. Rainbow looks around at the table. Well,
You know, Keeman. Well, yes, paperwork and writing things down can preserve knowledge. Sometimes
Generally why-
memory,
Writing was created, yes.
memory preserves the sanctity of that knowledge. We in this room know more about the Brother Souls than pretty much anybody out there.
Yes,
That's
that's
because we
lovely
found
to know.
The 2 books that we're aware of that contain any semblance of information. And the reason the cultists know where it is because they also broke into a very well protected archive and stole one of those books for that knowledge. If it weren't written down and there weren't a record of it, then they wouldn't be able to find it.
Logical.
if it weren't written down and there were no record of it, we wouldn't know where it is.
Logical.
Yes, and it would be safe from tampering. I don't know that it's a good idea to be writing records of all that we're doing in the off chance that we get attacked and that paperwork is taken. We put that captain
To understand
all these
the
stories.
point of the paperwork, mostly. Yes, you do try to supplement it with the goings on and things that you know, but it's more important as to the aspects of how many of your friends are left, how they've died, how we can tell their families, what happened if it was brave.
Who has a family?
It seems to be more procedural than descriptive.
Right. A few of us, me included, have our old journals and whatnot describing our adventures, but this is
I mean, it
more...
truly seems boring as all get out, but
Yes. Oh, yes, it very much is.
nonetheless.
I hate doing it, personally, and I always, well, I just hate doing it. But it's also important.
What a sacrifice you've made to make it so important, then.
If you hate doing it so much, why are you the one pushing us to do it?
Let me tell you, as a renowned diplomat and governmental force outside of the Ivory Sanctum, inside the Ivory Sanctum, I hate it, but it's necessary. I hate all the rules and all the little things that you have to do, but they do make things easier and quicker, especially when you find out that the group that you sent to the super important mission had about all of the members die, and also the super powerful being that was with them was kidnapped. That way we know to send people to help.
Is that word?
That doesn't... Where did the word go?
So, I mean, Jackson told you, right? Or who?
Jackson didn't tell me, but I don't put Jackson into this conversation. He's...
I mean, he was the only one that we were able to contact with any ability to directly contact the Ivory Sanctum. It was the best
I
option.
don't know the time frames and whatnot.
It was the best option we had at that point.
That's fair. I commend you all for...
This was before we knew of any sort of paperwork procedure.
Right. Understandable. And then, now we know. Just to answer the query, it's you don't have to put in secrets of the world into it. It's just a general. Today we've lost this many supplies because this happened. Your friend Volsier died in this manner, etc. So I can tell his family what happened to him. Also, just finding out he's dead is sad, but also the others that I remember their names.
You know, my father's old captain that I just mentioned, he had the same ex memoria melius X. It means from memories better. So anytime they had important information, if it was written down, it was taken to memory by 3 different people and then destroyed immediately. Or if they had communications, they would do it in person to make sure that none of that information could be captured by their enemies.
Oh, before I forget again, I got these sweet D&D themed candles, and I was going to burn one while we played today, if everybody's okay with candles.
That sense.
Check them out. Either one of those you want to do. I'm saving that other one for another day.
You know,
I think it's relevant.
Bard's Blessing or Druid's Herbs. Or the other ones?
The other one I have is Corbin Cat.
Where did you get these?
Christina got them for me for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
See, it is.
So in this case, given our many run-ins with the cultists and their ability to infiltrate organizations that we know and capture members, it might be better for now not to write down all of the information about how many people and how many supplies we have, and perhaps do things from memory.
I understand where you're coming from, and you're bringing up these good points. Now, unfortunately, I wouldn't have the authority to change the rules and whatnot. You would have to go to the community meetings, hold a vote, try to get an amount of the sanctum. Get all the different cities to band together to change to the bylaws and then take it to the sanctum, and then there, and us will take the motion forward to see if that's the correct way forward. That process generally takes a little bit of time.
So,
I understand.
yeah. So,
Interesting.
question,
Or we could just not do it.
yeah. We could also just forget that you ever told us about it, and then at that point, oops.
I'm going to be honest with you, Cayman. I'm not going to do it regardless. So I'll let you try to convince.
I don't even work here, so.
I'll let you try to
Tried to convince anyone.
our guard, who has been slightly more willing to do it. He's going to be your best bet to talk to.
You misunderstand me. I don't care if you do it. You should be doing it, and it's good that you know. And I think you should feel that if you ever get in trouble with anyone in the guild, I feel like you should know that it's your fault. But I don't do it. I don't expect you to do it. I would rather you did it because it makes my life easier in a paperwork sort of sense. But I know the adventuring sort. I'm here. I've done adventures before. Personally, I don't do it. So take that as you will.
I'll be concerned with the map making, and that's about it. But regardless of paperwork and or plans to do it or not, what's our plan for, I suppose, conquering this mountain once we've disembarked?
So, we're not landing.
Just for, we just spent like 10 minutes talking about whether or not we should be capable.
Before that, we talked about 10 minutes about a horse pop. So we're getting
Lady of the Knights.
Before that, we spent 10 minutes listening to
Reproductive
this dude about who knows what.
This case, I think perhaps ex memoriam assist.
So we're not landing. Or are we?
You asking the group?
Yes. Like, are we landing the ship? Are we not landing the ship?
Fluff, are we gonna have to land, or what do you think?
I mean, it would certainly be easier for most of us to get off the ship once we've landed, and I suppose that's better for Brody if he's going to be doing some sort of paint job on the side. I don't suppose it's 100% necessary to land, seeing how we have capabilities to disembark without it, but I mean, as far as I could tell, looking out the front of the ship, it seemed like there would be perhaps not ample places to land, but certainly some available places where we could land the ship mostly safely.
Yeah, from what you saw, you'd either have to land outside the grouping of mountains or pass over and see what's on the inside. The grouping of mountains kind of makes like this ring. So if you want to get to the interior, you'd either have to hike over the mountains or fly into the center of the mountains and possibly land inside. Or on top of one of the mountains.
I mean, ideally, we need an exit strategy. Is there a way for us to land and let the ship? Like, we don't want.
We can land a little bit further from the mountains, or we can push the ship further into the ring of the mountains and take our chances with what we see there.
I mean, in my head, we probably don't want the ship just to be parked on the side of the mountain just in case, a fleet of cultist ships come in, right?
There's going to be pros and cons, dangers and safeties with whichever plan we go with.
Think about the other two library sanctum ships, or the cloud ship.
Right. I don't know why I forgot about this one. I mean, I guess we'll see once it's once there's light out and we can go and check out what's going on. But for now, I guess the plan is to land the ship somewhere and everyone get off and venture out. Whatever mysterious creature we run into, we're gonna have to fend off in some way. And then there's still the whole Breath of Souls to worry about.
I mean, some of us have the capability to, if not cast fly, then just fly with our winged boots. Do we want to send or have some of our ships be stalling out?
That might be smart.
The ring while some of us just go scout, or
I think that's smart.
I do believe I have a way of all of us heading to the ground if you would not mind following.
Safely? Because I can.
Well,
I'm sure everyone can land on the ground somehow, but not in one piece.
I mean, they could repel.
that's fair. Yeah, I do have a safe way for us to safely fall, but we can also repel if you press in that.
I mean, those are a pretty tangible and reliable thing.
Okay.
Are you saying Cayman's not reliable or tangible?
No, Cameron just didn't seem to be all that. He seemed to be off-put by the idea of ropes.
Oh, sorry, I deal with magic more in my daily life now than ropes.
How do you feel about magical ropes?
Neutral, I guess, unless they're being used to tie me, in which case, bad.
I mean, we don't have any magical ropes, so that's
Oh, moot.
a non sequitur.
I mean, if the group of us can all safely go down without having to park the ship, then that might be our best option. It's also probably isn't the most obvious thing in the world for the ship to just park on the side of the mountain versus us all jumping off safely.
The only problem would be, getting back up, but we can use ropes.
I mean, I know.
That, and I know some of us have the ability to cast spells that can make people fly
Yeah, I can do that as well.
if needed. Regardless, so we're planning on just marking over the crown, I suppose, the ring of mountaintops, and just having our ships stay in some sort of holding pattern.
I think
Is that an idea?
yeah, and then in case we need backup or whatever, we can signal them, and the Cloudheim ships are there and available just in case there's any problems.
Is there a time limit that we want to set for them to stay in that holding pattern, or are they just going to be wandering up there for however long we're at the Breath of Souls? An indefinite time period, if you will.
Perhaps if every, let's say, at high noon, when the sun is highest in the sky, and at dusk, we can create signals. I'm sure between myself and Mira, we would be able to make signals for the ships to see. If there is one color, let's say like green, everything is good and we're happy and nothing's going bad. But if things, maybe instead of it being green, it's red, then perhaps that's when the signal is maybe we need some help.
What is
Ooh,
everybody?
I have a flare gun.
What is everybody's passive perception?
17.
23.
18.
So Cayman, Fluff, and Luke. Three of you pick up the subtleness in the ship, but you can kind of sense that the ship has come to a standstill. At this moment, you hear through one of the brass tubes that goes into the mess hall here, Greg's voice. We've come to a good stopping point. I can clearly see the mountain range from here. I didn't want to get too much closer until I have some direction, so when you're ready, just let me know what to do.
Alright, so I think that's our signal, but is everyone okay with that plan? Green means we're good and red means we're bad, and signal off flares of some sort?
I'll snap my fingers and I'll cast Prestidigitation to create a spark of green sparks, a shower of green sparks, and go, I do believe either of you could do this, right?
Yep, I can do it.
I pull out my flare gun. Like I have this.
That
Do.
that can also work. What color does that shoot off? Do you know?
I don't know. It's just something that your group gave us.
When did your group give you that?
Some items before we left the first time.
Oh.
It was with that it seems to be some sort of contraption that shoots explosive light type.
Does it have more than one use?
It has whatever it had in it. It was given to us as part of this as part of that whole bundle of.
Oh,
things.
right. Yeah, I totally remember that. I
think that's
It
when you got
was with the helmet and the dagger and the gauntlets.
Pretty sure I slept in during that day, and everyone was obsessed about the magical things, not really the flare gun there. So perhaps maybe a signal.
Matt, in my study that I had done when we got these so long ago, would I have been able to realize how many shots it has?
I mean, it only shoots one. I don't know. I don't remember if I gave you extra shots or not. You would have had to write that down. So,
Okay, you never told us that it had any extra shots. I just didn't know if there are multiple loaded or anything like that.
it would just be a single use.
So how?
Does Fluff actually know how far that shoots or anything?
Probably longer than prestidigitation.
I mean, do you know that though?
I mean, prestidigitation has a pretty short range, so.
I know, but do you know that? Do I know that? But
Yes, with the intelligence of anything above a 10, you can probably figure it out.
Fuck. Guns aren't common. Alright.
Wait, my instinct.
So perhaps then the signal is whatever color that's not green is bad, because we don't actually know what color that device creates. And I also was thinking, if we are in a dire situation, perhaps whatever sparks I throw up in the air might not be exactly red, just as I'm, probably stressed out in whatever situation it is.
I mean, this will just be my way of grabbing their attention.
Yeah.
All you other people who can do that.
That being
fancy
said, Greg is looking for direction, and we should probably also let the Cloudheim ships know about the plan. Cayman, if you're able to, are you able to fly? Or
Unlimited time, yes.
would you be able to fly to one of the Cloudheim ships? Or, Fluff, could you use your boots to go to both of them in a timely manner?
I mean, I suppose, but the Cloudheim ships are they're basically just here to be our back flanks. They're
They have to have some way of communicating with each other, right? So, or
Yeah.
else how do they fly through the air together?
You would have been aware the captain has a couple of like message sending stones
Okay.
with a direct line to both of the Cloudheim ships.
So, never mind. Ignore everything I just said.
also, I mean, I'm sure we have some sort of vexillologist.
At the flag people?
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't know that word.
Then I'm gonna ignore everything I just said. I'll relay the message of the plan because if we do, say, send out some red sparks or your flare gun, I'd hope the Cloudheim ships also were to be able to send help in case we need it.
I would hope. So, our plan is just to fly over the mountains and drop in.
Drop in and came in, said he can safely let us all fall.
All right, boys. Well, let's
Once we get down
Let's,
to
One point of
prepare.
order on that. We have to fall together, or you'll not be in the spell range, and you'll just fall.
Really?
So when I say go, 1, 2, 3, go, we'll all jump together, unless we have another way of getting down, of course.
Yeah, okay. So we jump on go.
We jump on go.
Okay. Just making sure.
So no one falls faster for any reason, right? I don't know of any reason that you would. Just, I don't want you to die.
Why aren't you crying?
I'll look at Raxus and Wrangler. Are you coming with us?
That's not here.
Okay. How many people does Featherfall work on?
you and it's either you and 6 others or you and 5 others.
5 fallen creatures within range. So I'm.
Oh, only 5 total.
That's all of us 5. If you include Theo, that makes 6.
I can repel.
I mean,
That's the other 2 if we
Oh,
take
fuck it.
Wrangler and the other one.
Yep. Fluff can.
I do not need it. Dio only takes half damage from falling, so
Technically, I don't need it, but I kind of want to hold on to my charge of fly. Because I only have 1.
I mean,
Are Raxus and Ringlo joining us?
did somebody ask?
Yes, I did.
Well, certainly. You want us to come along? More than happy to
Any
assist,
way of
but-
not dying from a fall?
What?
Do you have any way of not dying from a fall?
Wrangler kind of looks down at his belt and like taps his boomerang contraptions.
That was a problem with these.
To a certain extent, I can not fall, but I certainly don't have magical means.
you like using rope?
I'm perfectly happy using rope.
I'm in.
I mean, we can all use rope, or we can all fall. It's up to you all.
I like falling.
I like rope.
We should probably all do one or the other, so we all get down there at the same time.
Well, it also depends on what height we're falling from. Or going down on rope.
Also, yes.
How far are you able to fall?
As long as we're together when I cast the spell, it doesn't matter.
you fall 60 feet per second. Or per round, sorry.
Like 5
That's
people,
with
right?
Featherfall,
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
So, I would probably have to. I don't know how high we are, but I'd probably have to cast a spell after we've fallen a bit.
Five people, huh?
Right, that is also a problem that I'm noticing.
Feel like we should probably be pretty close to the mountainside then instead of going from far away. And at that point, maybe hold on to that and we'll rope down.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine with me.
Cool.
Sweet. Alright, well, we all ready then? I'm gonna go talk to Greg and
What's our plan once we get down to the mountain?
I mean, we kind of just have to see when we get there.
yeah, we have no idea what we're expecting. But obviously the Breath of Souls is imminent. Maybe finding that first thing.
Find it.
Finding this thing that we have no idea what it looks like or what it does.
That's what they call an adventure.
Aren't you smart?
Generally.
Nobody's ever heard that.
Sweet.
Yeah, they've always said I'm just smart.
Well, I'm Raxus myself. Get situated.
Once we are down on the ground, is it urgent that we start moving, or will we potentially have some time?
We want to get to the Breath of Souls as quickly as possible.
Time is something of the essence, but is there something you need to do once we get to the ground? Is there some reason we'd be waiting?
I was hoping I might be able to make something before we go in. Just to
Right.
try-
No.
I'm sorry?
Is it right now?
Is
Is
it
it
like
important?
Another way around. I was hoping to make something so that if we run into wraiths or banshees, whatever they are, they can't get inside my head again. Not that you know what happened there, and I'd rather not explain again, but
Should explain.
to protect you guys if I can.
What, inside your head? Like, physically?
Long story short, some very weird creatures decided to, I guess, control her and turned her against her guildmates, and she doesn't want that to happen again.
Common for that type of creature, or is that not? And can I roll for something?
had
For that?
a bad experience?
You
with
can
some-
roll an insight check on what he's saying just to try and get an idea of how much he's holding back.
Alright.
I think we could probably buy time. Like
I mean, how long?
I rolled a 28.
How long are we talking?
He's covering hard for Mira. Like, clearly, this is a very traumatic experience. A traumatic, whatever's going on that he's covering for is clearly causes discomfort.
Get that. Is that common for that type of creature to do? Does Keeman know?
Damon would know there are a plethora of creatures that can take control of people's minds.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, Mira, but that's not outside the realm of what happens. I mean, one cannot be blamed for maiming or even killing of party members underneath the outside influence that they're not in the control of. In fact, it's in the bylaws that I wrote.
One definitely could not be held responsible for
Killing all the party members twice?
fireballs being flung at, or not at, but in the direction of party members.
Listen, sometimes your party members give you an evil sword that you don't want to hold, and you stab them all to death. It's not your fault. Alright?
Is that with personal experience?
I don't know.
You can roll inside if you like.
It sounds familiar.
Perhaps if we're able to find a safe spot once we get down there, because there's also this unknown creature that could also kill us, then at that point, if we're able to take a little bit of time, I think that might be a good opportunity for you, Mira.
Big question, how do you know that these creatures are going to be there?
So why
We
should
don't.
we believe that there's something there?
It is called the Breath of Souls, yes.
Yes, but I mean, whites and banshees and whatnot are common and uncommon everywhere, even in these powerful places. There could just as well be a fleet of goblins.
If we believe that we have the time, I think for be it for our protection or just for Mira's peace of mind, we can take a short while, and Fluff will give you kind of like a knowing nod, like a short while to make what preparations you need.
I'm not against it. I more want to know, most interested in, what kind of magics is that? I don't know of anything that can stop that beyond powerful magical items that take months, if not longer, to make.
Well, while you discuss this, I'm going to go up to the bridge to give Greg directions to, and I'll describe our plans.
Raxus and Wrangler have already left, gone up to the deck. Orphan, at this point, gets up and heads to the deck. Fluff makes her way to the bridge.
Oh, join Fluff.
Luke also makes his way to the bridge. Do Mira and Payman remain at the table, or how do you go about your discussion?
I would probably answer just by saying we might be able to create something in about an hour of time that would just help for the time being.
Have you always been able to do that? Or is that something you've picked up?
More or less. Not an ability I like to use often.
Why?
So if it works, that's great. If it doesn't, then the repercussions are not always worth it.
Very scared of these repercussions. Are they... What's the scale? World ending? Life ending?
Not
Bad for you?
that I've experienced. Sometimes
Okay.
they can be bad for me. Sometimes they can be bad for people who are too close to me.
So it has something to do with your wild magics, huh?
If you want to call it that.
I have some experience with that, but
The appropriate title I've heard is chaos finding.
oh,
Roll
Any familiarity?
roll a history check. Or no, Arcana check. Roll an Arcana check.
20 straight.
28. You may have seen the word, or maybe even a brief description, but this ability is so rare even in Wild that it doesn't come up a whole lot through the centuries.
Oh, I found that in Everard's book of Cacophony. Yes, it's very rare.
Only encountered one other person who can actually do it. So yes, I'd say it's weird.
Well, I can try to assist in any way that I can. As you know, with the wild magic, I can't control it. But, you know, over time you gain things that you can try to do. But I think it's going to be mostly up to you, and I wish you luck.
And I don't know if it'll work, but I'd rather try than stumble in knowing that I could kill half the party out of my own control.
It happens, and I'll pat her on the shoulder. It happens to the best of us.
And
Jesus!
Perhaps the
What?
best of us isn't enough sometimes.
Sorry, you got cut off. What was that?
Perhaps the best of us isn't enough sometimes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to the deck. Let you prepare however you need. Let me know if you need anything.
I'm just gonna sit in my salt.
Mira takes a few extra moments to compose herself. Stop. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, aside from Fluff and Luke, make their way to the deck of the ship.
all right, boys, where are we dropping?
So, Fluff, Luke, you are on the bridge. The captain is there. No, the captain's on the deck. You get to the bridge. It is now light out. The sun has peaked up over the horizon, and you can see directly in front of you is the ring of massive mountains that I described before. The tops of all of the mountains are shattered, as you will.
No.
Broken peaks on every mountain. Even with the destruction, they are still ridiculously tall. You are currently holding position. Bright looks up at the two of you as you enter. Well, what's the plan?
I believe we're planning on flying inside that ring, and once we get a little bit of a better look, dropping somewhere in there. So going over the top seems maybe ambitious. So are we able to get through some of the spaces between the peaks?
I can take us over. Breathing might get a little rough while we're making our way over the top, but once we lower back down, we should be fine.
Does someone have a spyglass or something?
I think Raxus and the captains has one.
I look out towards the mountains. Can we see the mountains pretty clear now?
Yeah, they're huge.
I know that from this direction, the Shattered Heights create the Shattered Crown, right? Like, we can see 5 peaks?
No,
We cannot from this angle.
the shattered, what you believe to be the Shattered Crown, doesn't seem to be these mountains. Wherever the crown is, it must be buried inside or something.
Interesting. So, if these are the Shattered Heights, the book says to follow the arrow and it will point directly to the Shattered Crown. That's what we need to find. So perhaps while we're there, we find ourselves a good spot. We search around, make sure it's safe, but the arrow's not going to come out until night, so unless Raxus
And just for your knowledge, Fluff, because you probably checked this before you left the bridge with the last semblance of the night sky, the arrow was still pointing directly ahead.
Yeah,
So wherever the arrow is pointing is the Shattered Crown, so it'll point us directly there once we're on those mountains, I guess.
I mean, it's pointed us directly here for over a day now.
So then perhaps the Shattered Crown is directly straight ahead as well. Is there a way for you? Have you been keeping track with a map or something? Maybe you can direct us exactly towards this location, like draw a straight line across your map to make sure that we know.
I mean, I've been mapping as much as I can with the star charts and keeping a look at the ground below. But I mean, I've not encountered this place, and I don't personally have maps of these shattered heights either. It's difficult to say.
You think it would be beneficial for you to make a map of from an aerial view before we drop?
I mean, I've been drawing a map of everything as we've gone along, as best I could.
But if you've never seen this mountain range, maybe we get on top, or at least as close to on top without any of us suffocating, and you finish drawing out your map before we drop. That way, we can at least live by that while we're down there.
I mean, I suppose, yes, but the more we wander up here in the sky, the longer we're not navigating towards a central point. But yes, I suppose I can draw some more maps.
How long do you think it might take you to do that? Because, like you said, the longer we're up here, the...
I mean, a more detailed map will take more time, and obviously the more detail that the map has, the better we'll be able to navigate. Although without detail at the ground level, it's difficult to navigate at the ground level.
Right. No, I understand. I'm just trying to, ease our way as once we do get down there, knowing at least key landmarks and destinations and things like that.
Yes, I can do as quick or as detailed a map as the group deems. I'm open to either one.
So perhaps as we pass over the mountain and you start making the map, obviously we can talk to the group, but if we have, do you think a solid 20 minutes in the air would be enough to at least draw something?
To get the very basic details of what's inside the ring, the Shattered Heights, I suppose I probably could do something with 20 minutes, yeah.
Then 20 minutes we have high up, and then we drop down and rappel, just like the rest of the group is preparing, and we're good to go.
Sounds like at least a semblance of a plan.
Yep. That's what I'm going for.
You know what they say about the best laid plans?
They always work well.
Yeah. Sure.
Alright.
Okay, so at that point, Greg was standing there listening to us for that whole
Yeah,
time.
he's still sitting there waiting
So-
for me.
So, Greg, as you pull in, just hold high for about 20 or so minutes so that Fluff can make that map, and then we're going to drop down, get us hopefully within 30 feet of the ground. That way we can rappel down.
You got it, boss.
And at that point, I'm going to leave the bridge and head onto the deck to talk to the rest of the group.
Alright. Fluff, are you staying on the bridge or are you heading up to the deck?
What would give me a better vantage point? Is there spots from the bridge where I'd be able to easily see the ground below, or would it be better to get up towards the prow of the ship and look down?
For best visibility, you'd probably want to go up on the deck of the ship. You have a pretty good range of vision from the bridge, but seeing like directly down below you might get a little tricky.
Then I would get up to the deck. Fortunately, I've already collected all of my maps and map making accoutrement from the table, so I don't have to spend too much time here.
Dio remains on the bridge and continues learning from Greg to begin to proceed.
So as I leave, I'll just tell him just up and straight over the mountain. Try not to deviate from the course we've been going.
Sounds good.
It's much appreciated, Drake.
Alright, so at this point, Fluff, first Luke, and then Fluff. Mira, you still in the mess hall?
After a little bit, I would probably go back to my room and then pull out the circlet that I got at the market in Trondheim and just look in my room
Alright.
and make sure that's tucked into one of the bags that I heard me.
Alright. So everybody, aside from Dio and Mira, are now on the deck of the ship. Greg has been given orders. The captain comes up to the group of you, now that you're all assembled. The ship slowly begins to move forward, picking up a bit of speed until it begins heading forward at its standard pace. The two Cloudheim ships, behind to the left and right, follow along. The captain walks up to the group of you. Any orders from the crew as we proceed? Would you like me to relay anything to the Cloudheim company?
Can I, without explaining everything, tell you that I explained to him all of our green light, red light situation? Cool. Love it. Thank you.
Simplicity.
Yeah, cool.
Wonderful. The flare gun, the bright lights, whatever. Yeah.
Alright. So you want her to tell that to the two Cloudheim.
Yeah.
Excellent. It will be done.
She said just to the ships, right?
What's that?
Did she say to the ships or to the city?
The
Misheard.
ships, the Cloudheim
Oh.
ships. Your company.
Now I'm doing mild stretching exercises in the corner.
Keenan's stretching, making sure he's nice and limber.
A lot of popping and old man things happening.
Like that.
At this point, I'm gonna go over to Oslin's room, take the helmet,
Okay.
and then also just take one last look of this was my last original companion. And now we're finding it for episodes. And then back to the deck.
Right. Mira joins everyone on the deck. Just about the time it's hitting full speed, climbing a bit higher into the atmosphere. And you all notice that it's gradually becoming hard to breathe. You're kind of able to adapt to it as you're going up. Definitely noticing. After, I'd say about 5 or 10 minutes, getting closer gradually to the Shattered Peaks. I would like everybody on the deck of the ship to roll a perception check.
Hot 11.
21.
29.
18.
19.
$11.
Alright, so Fluff and Payne. It's an actual 1 for the captain.
Yikes.
Stuck. Right. Heyman and Plum. The two of you keeping a good lookout, particularly on the Shattered Heights. The ship begins moving forward. As you get closer, begin to notice some strange coloration. You notice something moving, and then some things moving. They're getting larger, but they're far enough away that you can't quite make them out yet.
I know Raxus has a.
It's the Wrangler, sorry, I misspoke earlier.
I know Wrangler has a spyglass, so I would tap him and. What is that? Oh.
Yeah, looks the direction that you point, pulls the spyglass out of his belt pouch and puts it up to his eye. He looks through the spyglass for a moment, and you see the color drain from his face. He looks at you and hands you the spyglass. Wordlessly.
Take a peek.
Looking, go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage.
Oh, thank God, I rolled a 1. 27. Thank God for advantage.
Alright, in the distance, you see swiftly growing closer as they are heading towards you and you towards them. You see 3 flying platforms. All 3 platforms are, after studying them for a moment, you realize that their scale is massive. These floating platforms have some sort of creature or blimp that the platforms are hanging from. And there are creatures, about 3 to 5 creatures on each platform. They're getting close.
I'll now
Flying.
sprint to the captain, wherever I can find them.
The captain looks at you, spyglass in hand. She's looking in the opposite direction.
Captain, look! And I'll point and I'll hand her my spyglass that I'm holding.
She has
Yes,
it,
I'm
but she's
flustered.
just looking the wrong way.
This way, Captain, there's a thing, there's many things. What do we do, Captain?
She'll
Captain Oakley, please.
As I continue to try drawing maps of whatever I see below, I'll call back and ask, do we know what these are?
Doesn't look good. And I'll turn back to the captain, who I'm desperately trying to get the attention of.
The captain, spyglass up, looks in the direction you point, and also notices the flying platforms heading in your direction. She keeps the spyglass steady, and then color drains from her face. Look at you. Those look like giants.
Did you say giants? Can I see?
She passes you the spyglass.
Alright, perception check.
Roll perception. with advantage.
20.
Giant. What kind of giants?
20 to see the giants.
Big ones.
You also see the 3 flying platforms quickly getting closer. And you also notice a piece of just a massive gray boulder seems to be making its way in your direction as well, flying through the air.
What was the first thing?
You see the 3 ships,
Yeah.
floating platforms, and a massive gray stone boulder also flying in this direction.
How fast is the boulder traveling?
It's very fast. It's getting closer, closer, closer,
So-
getting bigger, bigger, bigger.
I'm gonna say, watch out!
Down, 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 down. Do we go down?
Yeah, what happens?
The captain looks at you. Look, what? What is it?
Get down!
No, they're throwing a boulder. Move the ship down.
The captain quickly runs to the brass device sticking out of the ground and shouts into it towards Greg. To Greg, take this down! Take us down now!
While we're going down, I want to inspect what are the platforms exactly? Like, what are they floating with? What?
So what you see
How close?
as you study
Yeah.
them are basically just think of just like a log raft.
Okay.
But the trees that make up the log raft are huge.
Okay.
They're just a big flat platform. There's like a semblance of some rails around the side.
Yeah.
And then just these thick ass ropes going up to some sort of blimp looking creature thing.
So it's a living creature up there. That's floating. That's what I want to look at that. Nature check or
yeah, roll a nature check
16.
or animal.
Either way, 16.
You have no idea what these are.
But they are not just they're living things.
Maybe. Never seen anything like this before. Alright. So the captain gives the order. The ship jerks and begins to descend. The other 2 ships behind you are not so lucky. Everybody roll a d10.
That's it. 10. 2.
7.
2.
7.
10 to 7.
2 7. 2 2 2 7 10 and 10.
The boulder moving very quickly. The ship behind you on the right is unable to dodge it. The massive boulder that you see now is about the size of a small house. Crashes
Jesus.
into the Cloudheim ship behind you. You hear screams as the people on board fall. The ship spinning towards the ground below. The 3 giant ships are flying towards you closer and closer. At this point, there's probably 1,000-ish feet between you. From below, from the brass device, you can hear Greg. What are those ships? What do you want me to do? They look friendly.
Do you have weapons that can blow up the boulders, Captain?
The captain looks at you. We don't have any weapons.
Oh. Okay. You should probably run. You should tell your friends. And I'll turn to whoever's next to me. Who's next to me? Luke? It was Luke, right?
Yeah. No, yeah.
You should tell everyone else.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, no, for sure.
At this point, you can hear the loud war cries, the shouts of the various giants occupying the ships flying towards you.
We should probably tell the other Cloudheim ship to turn and run as well.
You figure that out. I'm going to run to the very tip of the front of the ship that is, well, wherever is pointed towards the giants. And I'm going to be ready to cast a spell maybe if there's a boulder heading at us.
The other ship behind you to the left, the other Cloudheim ship, is slowing down and turning. You can see them pushing out the cannons of their deck.
Can we see if they have any more boulders? Or is that just the one? Maybe it's just a one-off. We can fight.
I still am holding the spyglass, so I'll take a look and see if they have more boulders.
Okay.
So the ship that was on the left, it's just spiraling down towards the earth, like plummeting.
No, the one behind you on the right is the one that went down. The one behind you on the left turned and is pointing its guns towards the oncoming giant ships.
17. To
Oh,
17.
okay. Well, whichever one's going down, is it like plummeting or is it slowly going?
It's fucked.
Okay.
17.
17. As far as you can tell, quickly glancing around with the spyglass to aid you, you cannot see any more boulders heading your direction.
But I'm not looking at ones headed my direction. I'm looking to see if they have any more boulders on their ships.
There are no boulders on the ships.
Okay.
So wherever that boulder came from, it was not the ships.
Okay. It doesn't look like they have boulders on the ships, but perhaps that's not where it came from.
Where did it come from then?
I don't know.
How far are we
As
up
the
right now?
3 giant ships get closer, you hear a booming voice that seems to be coming from the front of the ship. Hey! Prepare to surrender or die!
That's
Are running?
Do we want to raise the white flags?
Surrendering? What are we doing?
I'm keeping a lookout for boulders.
At this point, because of their proximity
Are-
looking at the ships, you can tell that the floating things above the platforms are indeed creatures. They're just massive, like think of like a puffer fish, but on like a massive scale, and it's floating in the air.
interesting.
Well, don't know if we're going to be able to outrun these.
Probably not.
Strike's still hollering through the brass communication tube. What do you want me to do?
I don't think we're going to be able to outrun them.
Maybe we should just land.
Can we see how many there are of them at this point?
So there's the 3 ships, and 2 of the ships have 3 giants, and 1 of the ships has 4. Front one is the one that has 4.
How far away is that now?
They're probably about 500 feet up.
It seems unlikely that we'll be able to get away, although
I think surrendering is probably our best option.
Does anyone here know or have experience with giants before? Are they friendly to captors, or
In the name of the ravenous horde, put down your weapons!
I don't think the ravenous horde is going to be so friendly, guys. I think
Giant's name.
yeah.
Raxus?
What'd you say?
Raxus?
Raxus looks at you.
Do you know anything of the Ravenous Horde?
This rolls history check. Actually, roll well.
That's off.
Hey,
Yeah, they're raiders, I think.
Ooh, that's not as great.
so they're gonna kill us. So I guess we fight. I think we have a better option at this point.
I mean, oh, hello, fire.
New fire.
I know.
Did by how fast they've been approaching, are their ships faster than ours by what we can see?
They're going the same speed as you. I am just giving you all time to think. Otherwise, they would already be upon you.
Cayman, you think between your spells and mine, we might be able to at least hold back a couple of those ships?
No.
What about attacking the big puffer fishes before they get near us?
They're bloody massive.
I understand that.
It's a method.
Already resigned herself to
Death.
not to death, but to surrender.
Front ship is heading towards yours. The other two ships are beginning to go wide, as if they're going to try and surround you.
What are you proposing? What do you know of any very damaging spells?
My only thought is if we can incapacitate possibly the creature holding them afloat, then possibly the entire ship goes down.
The captain looks towards the group of you. The Cloudheim vessel wants to know what to do. They're prepared to fire.
I don't think they're gonna spare us. I think we need to fight.
I'll leave it up to you guys. I'll say.
Don't really see us having. We're not going to be able to turn around and run. So
30 seconds.
it's either fight to the death or surrender to the Ravenous Horde. And I don't think surrendering to a group called the Ravenous Horde is going to be successful for us either.
Fighting seems to be an even quicker way to death.
Yes, they threw a boulder, but they didn't straight up attack us. They gave us the option to surrender. So we're not surrender, and then if they start to get aggressive.
No, they most certainly did attack us. That's
No,
what
I
the
know they
bolt
attacked
was.
us, that's what I said. But they've
No,
given
No, you don't get to say that other than the attack, they didn't attack us.
The first massive grappling hooks are thrown over the side of the ship. They begin to pull them tight,
Away is the ship.
pulling themselves closer and up to the side of your ship.
How far away is the ship?
100 feet.
Oh.
90
Oh, I
feet.
thought they were much further. Alright.
80 feet. 80 feet.
Well,
60 feet.
At 100 feet, I would have touched the cloak clasp I have and dimension door behind the creature, if possible, 500 feet. Midair.
Okay.
A little above it.
Okay.
And I'm hoping, because no one made a decision, that we're doing this. Let me know when it's the next round.
I mean, what do you... it's the next round.
Alright, I
You
cast
did it.
fly on myself so I can fly.
Okay.
Has anything seen me behind the ship?
Everything's attention is towards the ship that you just ported off.
Well, next round, I'm going to twin cast Disintegrate on the thing below the ship. That's the giant pufferfish.
All right.
guess we're fighting.
Look, that was the last thing anybody said, so...
No, I like it. All right, let's do this.
I don't think it's... I mean, whatever.
I like it.
Nothing if not loyal to the party.
So did I see where Cayman ported off to?
No.
Okay.
If anything, you might have seen him touch his cloak clasp and
Yeah.
disappear.
Did I see which way he was looking before he did that? Like,
I don't know. Does came indeed a visual? Would he even have looked, or would he just have touched it and disappeared?
No, he wouldn't need a visual. Yes, he would have looked to make sure none of the giants were looking that way.
I mean, everybody's looking towards the ship, I imagine.
I mean, yeah, but like I was talking with Cayman right before that, and then he ported off. So maybe if he had looked in whatever direction, I could possibly have a semblance of a clue of what way. If he teleported, like I've
Just
seen.
roll a perception check.
Okay. 14.
No.
Okay, then I am going to look over to the ship to say, let's go with the ship to my left. And the moment it's within 60 feet, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern across the entire ship.
Anybody else doing anything?
Twintegrate as soon as I can.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
I don't think
I'm just ready with the spell for whenever someone acts.
Fluff will, with a sigh, click her heels together, and seeing that we've started this, go 45 feet above the ship's deck, and start preparing for what may come.
I'm just gonna.
So
pull off my
the
weapon.
closest, the two, there's the closest ship, and then the other two that I said going around to flank you. Those are not going to be getting within 60. Assuming you're going after the ship that's getting up to.
Sure.
Okay. So that ship has 4 giants on it.
Yep.
All of them are. I want to say they're all about 20 feet tall. The shortest one of them is 16 feet tall. So just for perspective, the entirety of this floating platform coming towards you is about 3 stories tall.
Jesus.
This thing is fucking huge.
Yep. Alright, well.
There are currently 2 grappling hooks on the ship. Topped. Ship is getting closer.
So
It is 100 feet out. Cayman, go ahead and roll your disintegrate.
It's a save on behalf of the creature versus 19 dex. Twice.
I can almost guarantee you it does not.
Okay. It has to do it twice, just so you know.
And no.
Okay, so it's gonna take 80 plus 36 plus 39 damage.
80 plus 36.
that's 155.
Yeah.
That much. If it doesn't die, if it dies, it disintegrates. If it doesn't die, then it just is hurt.
How far behind the ship or behind the floating creature did you appear?
60 feet, because that's the range of the spell I knew I was going to cast.
Roll a dexterity save.
Where's it? 16.
The 2 beams of disintegrate magic blast into the creature. It deflates a considerable amount, air blasting out of its hind end, kind of just gusting you with air. You kind of spin around in the air for a moment. The ship drops probably a good 30 or 40 feet before catching itself again and beginning to just kind of float in the air. It stops moving forward. The giants on board yelling to each other, hear what just happens. If you would like to cast your spell at this point,
Are they within 60 feet?
no, they probably be even farther. He did his at 100 feet.
Technically, my range is 120 feet. I was just waiting for them to get a little bit closer, but I can run out to the front of the ship. Would they be within 120?
Yeah, they're within range there. Just barely.
Is the floating fish thing still alive?
Yes.
Okay. All of them need to make a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
That's it again.
15 is the check. And it's a 30-foot cube, so I'm gonna make sure that it hits pretty much like the top half of the giants and the pufferfish on top. It ups my charisma bonus. No, that's okay. Listen.
All right, so everything fails the check except for the leader giant that has been speaking.
Sweet. Everything is now fallen incapacitated.
Oh no.
Okay.
Including the giant pufferfish?
Including the giant pufferfish.
Check. PST.
Means its speed is 0, and I don't know what else.
Okay, so
I don't think
it
that
just floats there.
yeah. Just can't take actions. I thought incapacitated was.
Yeah. It
Oh.
just floats there.
Mine is the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Oh. That makes sense.
So it's not moving any closer, and everything aside from that one giant seems to have stopped moving.
I'm gonna turn back and yell at everybody. I'm like, we got 60 seconds to figure our shit out, guys.
I'm ready to do something else. Just so you know. Not an action. Just talk.
You hear cannon fire as the Cloudheim ship behind you to the left begins to shoot at the closest approaching giant platform. Oh, Shiloh, oh my god, I'm sorry. What did you say, Kane?
I'm ready to yell something.
So you saw, after you cast your disintegrates, you saw the ship drop, and then there was a bright flash of light. And I'm pretty sure you would recognize the spell. And know pretty much what just happened. What do you do?
And same idea. I'm ready to yell something at giant. Towards the leader one.
Alright.
How massive are the ropes and or grappling hooks that are now attached to our ship?
Probably like
It doesn't actually move.
the grappling hooks are like a 3 feet wide.
What?
That's
Like
material.
they're huge. They're giant grappling.
What material?
Okay.
Um,
And do the ropes look like something we'd be able to, I'd be able to bust through with a couple attacks, or? And how many grappling hooks are there?
2. And the ropes are very thick, look extremely sturdy. I mean, it's rope, so you could try to bust through it, but are very thick, sturdy ropes.
Yeah, I'll go start slashing at one of the, or fly down and start slashing at one of the ropes.
is doing that, could I use a firebolt to try and set the ropes on fire?
Yeah.
I guess I'll do the same, but I just want to like try and break it with Eldritch Blast because I don't have anything better. But I want to contribute. I don't have anything.
Alright, so Fluff first. Roll your attack, what's your damage?
Unless these ropes have a significant AC, all three of those are going to hit.
I assume you rolled above 17 for all three?
Yeah, they were. 19 was the lowest one I rolled. So that's 25 damage on
Fluff breaks through the first rope that he's attacking. Who was the second? Mira?
I got a 19.
oh wait,
19 to hit.
Yes. And that's 11 damage, and if it's a flammable object, it would be ignited.
Your firebolt blasts through the second. Both ropes are destroyed. The grappling hooks fall to the deck of the ship. End of round.
Alright, I'm gonna shout in Giant if that sounds fine. Towards the leader. Give up now and call off your attack, or we will be your doom. I'm trying to persuade him.
I'm guessing nobody else in our party understands that.
It was an elective, you know.
I know.
I took Giant for a couple years in high school.
I also know Orc, and
I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but like I can sometimes kind of hold the conversation. I can order at their giant restaurants.
So the one ship that was headed straight toward us is the one that the pufferfish got disintegrated, so it's down below where we are.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
dropped like
also
30, 40 feet.
not moving because that's the hypnotic pattern.
Yep.
One. So what are the other two ships doing right now?
The one that went on your left is currently moving towards the Cloudheim ship. The Cloudheim ship shooting its cannons, attempting to knock it out of the air. And the other ship that went off to your right is beginning to circle in and come in closer.
Wait, Keeman, do you actually know Giant, or did you like cast tongues?
No, I know Giant, actually.
Okay, damn.
I also have tongues.
I do too, but like if you start speaking Giant, I would probably cast it. But if we're doing round-based combat, it wouldn't make sense. So never mind.
Anybody trained in history can roll a history check.
Ooh.
26.
I guess I technically can.
I'm just having all of my studying in
Alright, Kanan, you have heard of the Ravenous Horde before.
Oh, sweet.
They pop up at irregular intervals, but there's generally decades of time before they reappear again. They are known to only attack large settlements, and whenever they attack, they leave nothing but rubble in their wake.
Sweet. Sweet. Even better.
Good thing we didn't surrender.
I would yell what I yelled at the captain. Pause
Your
for 1
intimidation
second.
check.
Alrighty. 27.
The giant, who is not currently incapacitated, shouts back up at you. Okay! Just don't destroy our fine platform!
Is
Wait.
he saying that in giant or in common?
Common. He's been speaking common, though.
Well,
Can I insight check that shit?
Sure.
Math 20.
He genuinely doesn't want to die.
You do the giant voice. Oh, it's so late.
Maybe he's faking it. I don't know. Now I do.
Oh my god, that killed me.
all right.
Call it off, I'll yell in giant. Now.
And when he's saying stuff in giant, I have no idea what he's saying. So I also am going to say, if you don't want to die, call back your people.
You hear the giant shout in giant, so only Cayman understands. It's like he is shouting towards the other ships. The one attacking the Cloudheim ship doesn't seem to respond, but the one that is getting very close, it's probably about 150, 200 feet out, almost within grappling hook range, slows and stops at the giant's words. Stop! Hold your fire!
Alright, this is going better than I expected. I float down closer to the giant, but not to the deck yet. Now, I'll just keep speaking to the giant. What deal can we reach to stop this attack?
While he's doing that, can I do a minor illusion 30 feet towards the one that's attacking the Cloudheim ship and imitate the exact voice of their leader saying exactly what he just said?
Roll a performance check.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, what I just said, or the
No,
what I
you.
just said?
What the giant just said. It's a 24.
Do the voice.
Hold your fire! Call off the attack!
Oh, I love this.
The other giant ship slows and stops. There are grappling hooks already thrown onto the Cloudheim ship, but they don't seem to be trying to pull it in any closer. For the time being.
I'm gonna go over to the captain. Captain, commune to the Cloudheim ship to help them cut the grappling hooks.
Okay. The captain nods.
Also tell them to stop attacking.
Alright. The giant leader now looks towards Kanan.
Hey, what's up?
And what did you say last?
What deal can we reach so we can go our separate ways? Something like that.
He looks at you, looks at your ship, the Cloudheim ship and his other two vessels. Come with us!
To do what?
You will speak with our leader!
We have some pressing business to attend to. Why do you need us to speak to your leader?
Is it in our mountains? You are making directly for them.
I apologize. This land is not very well mapped out, I should say.
This land is ours.
I understand, and I apologize for trespassing. It's rightly so that you should defend your land. I understand that completely. We're not looking to stay very long. We're looking for, and I'll point at the mountain range, the Shattered Crown there, I do believe. Hopefully I know all these words in Giant.
Shattered Crown! I don't know Shattered Crown, but this land, these mountains are ours.
I understand. Would your leader be amenable? I'm sorry. Would your leader be okay with us striking up a trade to go through your land?
At this point, it has been 60 seconds, and the giant's other companions are gaining use of their limbs and bodies. Probably. He's real smart. You should probably hurry and come with us, though, or our mountain man will throw another boulder.
I'll yell I'll reach out my hand to whatever is my hand size on him and shake it. And then I'll yell back out our
He
ship.
looks at you very confused.
That's fine. I'll yell back out our ship. We've reached a parley for now, but we must see his leader. I'll float back to our ship.
Alright.
So what's this about a leader?
Eamon,
well,
you return to the ship, flying through the air. The giant leader of this hit squad begins speaking in giant to his compatriots and shouts at the other two ships hanging in the air. They make a little distance away from you, keeping about 200 feet away from your ship and the Cloudheim ship. The ship that the giant leader is on remains where it is, maybe floats back up in the air to get on a level with your ship. While this is happening, Cayman, you are back on the ship and speaking with everyone.
Firstly, does the little pufferfish thing still look as damaged as before?
Oh yeah, it's like
There'd be like
the
chunks
spots-
missing of it.
Yeah, the spots where you hit it with the disintegrate, they're like raw red, like barely holding together. You could probably even hear like the faint sound of like air escaping, whatever holes have been created by your disintegrate magic.
Everyone.
How high up in the air are we?
Very high.
How high is it?
Very high.
Is there
Dead
any
people.
chance that we want to send one of the giant ships, or ask one of the giant ships, or send our other Cloudheim ship to look for survivors from our other ship, or
I mean, there's a very small chance that anyone survives. If you want to do that, you totally can. Very unlikely.
Say very quickly, that man, giant, asked us to follow him, or more boulders would be thrown at us. It is up to us if we want to run or fight. I can only do that about one or two more
not have
times.
boulders? I think it would be wise to not have boulders thrown at us. Yes.
My general ideas.
I think
Not sure what we
follow.
can do. We have to meet with his leader. I don't know what the leader would want, but shrug.
Perhaps we can.
I'll mark a circle on our map around where, like looking over the ship around where we are, so that we can, if on our way back we can possibly look for survivors from that other ship, but we should probably get going.
Yeah, we should probably just follow the giants.
It doesn't seem like we'd be able to commandeer one of these giant ships to go look for survivors, so...
Heeman will kind of move back towards the back of the ship at this point.
Those of you who may be paying attention will notice that the main giant ship has pulled up a couple of barrels. It seems to be feeding the creature something from the barrels.
Does it look like it's a type of medicine that's healing it? Is it just food?
It's some kind of drink.
Do
Giant
they have
barrel
like a
called
giant
potion.
straw?
Yeah, there's like some kind of like device that they like feed up to where the mouth
Like
is.
a reverse beer ball?
Or is it like a hamster feeder?
Reverse beer.
It's actually the reverse beer bong is actually
Pretty
pretty
accurate.
accurate. Yeah.
Alright.
How do you know what a beer bong looks like? You don't drink beer.
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Not drinking beer? Are you guys nuts?
Drink plenty of beer. All right, so you are hanging in the air. The giants leader, pretty much everybody's just waiting for
Yep.
the go ahead.
Go. Let's do this. Take us to your leader!
Giants squad leader looks back and shouts towards your ship. Are you ready?
Yes!
Yay, Captain.
I can't hear you!
Who lives in a pineapple?
What's a pineapple?
I don't know.
Do you know Welcome to Night Vale? You sound just like Steve Carlsberg.
I don't know who that is. I know Welcome to Night Vale. It's been a long time.
He's the uncle of
Cecil's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Cecil's niece. That's his dad.
Huh.
Her dad.
Alright, so the ships pick up speed slowly at first, but then begin making their way towards the Shattered Heights. As you get closer and higher in the air, you begin to be able to make out man-made sort of structures and platforms. You begin to see ropes and chains on a large scale, even for giants. They are holding platforms hanging in the air that seem to be made up of the same massive trees. There are dozens and dozens of just massive platforms hanging in the air in the center of this ring of mountains.
Do
All
the
right,
trees look like they're just super old growth source spruce trees?
Nature check.
I got a natural 1.
Those are trees.
Probably.
That's a log. Big log.
Okay.
They're poisonous.
So they're
Can I invite check the tree?
no.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna try and describe what this looks like best I can. So the Shattered Heights is a grouping of massive mountains in a circle, surrounding a smaller grouping of mountains in the center, which makes up the shadow. There are these massive ropes holding these hanging platforms in the air, strung up in the center of the Shattered Heights, over the top of what would be the Shattered Crown. There is one particularly large, so to speak, hangs directly above where the Shattered Crown would be below. As you get closer and you're able to sort of make things out, you can't get a good look at the top or the middle, whatever's in the center of the Shattered Crown, because there's a giant platform hanging over the top of it. But based off what you could see, the Shattered Crown at some point, the peaks of which would have gone all the way in the sky, even higher than the Shattered Heights themselves. You get closer and see scattered all around the mountains. There's whatever flat spots there are have been leveled out and are being farmed. The crops that are sowed here seem to be on a scale of the giants. So, like, if it was corn, it'd be giant corn.
Jeez.
There are creatures on some of the platforms, and also on some of the lands that is available. Some of the creatures are giant, some of the creatures are just normal size, picked up from who knows where. There are massive, giant-sized buildings built on many of the platforms where these giants seem to live. Yeah, this is essentially a massive, giant haven. That's close to a giant town as we could get floating up in the air. The main, the giant ship, giant floating platform with the giant squadron leader leads you down directly to the biggest platform that is hanging above what would be the Shattered Crown. It pulls up alongside it, and you can see the giants here, and it's not just giants, there's ogres, there's trolls, there is a mix of giants and quote creatures that all seem to be residing here. There are like guard-looking ones walking around, keeping lookout. There are these floating creatures drifting around with different sized platforms below them. Some are just personal use, some ones that attacked you, like raiding vessels. You also see some of the creatures not filled with air, and when not filled with air, they are like flat as a pancake with like wide frog-like mouths.
Gross.
As you float down to the platform below, the giant who you've been speaking to steps onto the massive platform with a heavy thud. He points at the Cloudheim vessel, which is trailing along behind. You tell that one stay there!
turn to the captain. Hey, have the other ship hang back. Stop.
Captain relays the message, and the Cloudheim ship comes to a halt, floating in the air. The other giants pull up alongside this platform. A few of them get off, but I'd say like 2 remain on each ship. They're just kind of floating there at the ready. The other giants step off and sort of surround where your vessel has pulled up to the side of this platform. The giant then looks to your ship, which is about the size of one of the massive logs that makes up this platform. You come with me now. You meet with leader.
Okay.
Borgish will want to see you.
Okay.
Sounds good. What was your name again? Friend?
My name, Bugs.
Boggs.
That's me.
Good to meet you, Boggs.
Who are you?
Not even Luke.
Huh? Are you coming?
I'll look back to the group and kind of motion and shrug.
I mean, we're kind of priced in at this point.
Yep.
Hey. I'm gonna, before we go and everybody else starts to go, I'm gonna say to the captain, is there anything you can do to keep the ship, ready in case we need to leave quickly?
What? Say that again?
Is there anything you can do to, be ready to leave as quickly as possible?
The captain looks at you and then, like, looks down at the ship you're riding on. I can do what's possible, but we're barely going at a normal pace here.
Yeah, that's not shy, right?
Well, do it, and hopefully this will go well. And then I'll turn.
I sincerely wish you the best of luck.
Me too.
Our lives are in your hands.
No pressure.
Yeah. Let's go.
Who all is going?
I'm going.
I think we are all going.
I would try to convince Paul and Raxus to go. Because I think Raxus, I would assume Raxus was giant, right? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, they both agree to go. You all step off the ship and immediately feel like ants in a human house.
Yeah. As we step off the ship and start walking, I'm gonna cast tongues so that I can understand giant for the next hour.
Okay. The other giants that stepped off, with the bogs, kind of encircle you, escorting you all towards the giants. Best way to describe it is like a Viking mead hall type thing. It's just this massive log built, all like building. There's two like massive wooden double doors at the front, and as you approach them, there are 2 armored giants standing there, each of them with red hair, and they pull the doors wide with a creaking groan. Inside, At the opposite end, on a gray stone throne, is a giant in red plate armor. Its skin a deep purple. Its eyes green as emeralds, flecked with pop. To the left is a massive standing mirror. And at the moment, it seems to be reflecting back an ocean sea. In the very center of the room is a massive crystal orb, the size of a small building, with swirling gray cloudy mist inside. The giant sitting on the stone throne, the opposite side of the building, observes you as the doors swing wide. Boggs gestures with a hand kind of giving you a slight breeze with a massive swing of it. You go in now.
Okay.
I imagine we step forward. I'll take a grand, as big as I can bow.
Okay. I mean, it'll probably take you a good almost few minutes
To get
to
up
walk
to.
all the way over to where the
gonna say.
giant's throne is.
Got boy band intro 2.0. No, I'm just kidding.
You hear Boggs enter the massive room.
Remember
with
how
you,
well that went for you?
but he stands just inside the doorway. You hear the two doors slam shut behind you. This building is sure about 3 stories tall, 4 stories tall, but completely hollow on the inside, aside from the stuff that I described. Yeah. So 40 feet high ceilings.
Jeez.
Sitting, the giant in front of you is about 20 feet tall, sitting.
Okay.
He watches you silently. You can hear just a massive amount of air that he breathes in. You can hear the air with every breath.
I'm gonna look to my right, and I'm gonna look to my left to see if anyone does anything.
I mean, I'm walking forward, but once we get to probably maybe a good actual stopping point for this person first to have this conversation.
Yeah, there's a couple of massive 2 sets of steps that lead up to his throne. And he just kind of sits there and watches as you all make a line in front of him.
At that point, I would probably, as Cayman would also do, I would assume is make the a huge bow of some sort.
Yeah, I'll probably follow suit.
Hello, Great King Vorgish. I'll say in common.
Greetings.
If he doesn't respond, I'll say the same thing, but in giant.
Anything I say, whether it's in whatever language you can understand.
Oh, that's right.
He simply watches you.
We were hoping to go cut through your land on our adventure.
It's like check the mirror.
What's that?
I hit inside our how much of the mirror.
Arcana check. Definitely a magic mirror.
We're in search of the Shattered Crown, and our adventure takes us there. We mean no ill will against you.
You feel the air tremble a bit. The giant breathes in a breath. He speaks. Why do you seek the Shattered Crown?
Why indeed? Well,
Please say it in common.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a long quest and a long story, but there's something there that we seek.
And you expect me to let you pass with such little information?
Well, you can ask your boy Boggs over there. He's the one who struck up the deal for us to not, kill your forces and things like that. We mean no harm.
His right hand makes a fist and slams the stone throne he's sitting on. You dare threaten me in my own home? You threatened to kill my men, and possibly all of us.
No. Your men came and killed my men.
Because you trespassed on our land.
And that we apologize for, Great King Boreas. We didn't know the bounds of your land, and I apologize. I understand how important it is to keep safe your people, and in no way are we saying that was unjustified.
Roll a persuasion check.
Hey! Oh fuck. 16 plus 17, so 33. Jesus Christ. That's my best skill.
The giant takes a few breaths. Seems to calm. Now, tell me again. Why are you here? And what do you want?
I look around at my companions, sort of as a...
Did you mention the Breath of Soul?
No, I did not.
Not yet.
That's why I'm looking at my companions right now. I think this is the only option. We need to, Alaskan telepathy a little bit. I think it's time. We seek the Breath of Souls.
Do you know what this place of power is, my lord?
Roll insight. That's your thing.
Thanks. 19.
You see a flicker of recognition as Breath of Souls is mentioned. What were you saying, Camus?
Let it be known I'm inside checking this whole thing.
I actually, I asked the question. You are literally about to answer, I think. So I'll just say that I didn't say anything.
Did you say, were you going to roll an insight check?
No, I said we're looking for the Breath of Souls, but that is the pace of power, my lord, if you've ever heard of it.
I may know the Breath of Souls.
Well, perhaps you can tell us more and point us in the direction. I want to do a persuasion check.
I'm going to try to assist with saying there is much bad things heading towards there, and we are here with the Ivory Sanctum to try and stop that.
Roll
Damn
your
it.
assist check.
Please roll an assist.
I rolled a 14.
Oh, thank God.
Natty
Natty one.
Advantage on persuasion with that thing?
No, it's just a +4.
Right.
21.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Remind me again why you're pissed.
Just because I roll a natty 1 doesn't mean I'm not got the skills to do it.
That's terrifying.
Uh-huh.
You rolled daddy one in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us say I know the breath of souls. What is your business there?
Honestly, there's an evil group of cultists that are seeking it, and our goal is to stop them from getting there.
If you know the cult of the Mad Seer, that is who we're after.
We
They're
fear,
looking to... What?
we fear no one. Why
I
do
understand.
we fear these cultists?
I do not know if you need to, great Orgish, but we do. And we are not saying that you need to or even need to help us, but we must stop them. They seek to poison the breath of souls, we believe, as they have many other places of power. Not only that, they kidnapped 2 of our allies.
How do you plan to keep them from poisoning the breath?
Well, we have tried to do so before at the Sanctum, and once began, it is hard to stop.
Do
But-
you have the key?
I'll look around.
Unfortunately, the cult that we speak of have the key,
18.
which is why we hopefully arrived before them.
Mira, you can tell as the Giant King mentions the key, he is excited. What were you saying?
Unfortunately, the cult that we are trying to stop have the key, and which is why we hopefully arrived before them in order to stop them from using it.
Did we have any sort of disappointed reaction to that news?
If cultists come here, we will kill them and take the key for ourselves.
That sounds great.
What do you want with the key? Do you seek to destroy it? Do you wish to use it? Do you wish to hide it?
I will use it.
Well, that
To what end? Do you want with the breath of souls?
Openness. There is great power there.
Do you know what power is there? You must know these places of power, they do all sorts of different things.
I know some.
Well, would you be willing to help us then stop the cult and possibly fight with us in order to make sure that they don't get here with unnatural means?
He's not telling you everything. We don't need you.
The one thing that I don't think you understand, and this is why I think we can help each other, is you can ask your friend Boggs over there that we are skilled with magic. And these cultists have magic far beyond our capabilities.
The key looks in towards the back of the room toward Boggs. Boggs is just there, like, nodding.
Which I really do believe that you need us just as much as we need you in this fight. I want to do another persuade. I'm going to use it.
Exchange.
Someone want to give me some help here?
What'd you roll?
Another natty one?
My God!
So, I will give you a 1d4 to roll. So you're gonna fail, but it won't be a 1.
Well,
It,
alright, well,
That's pretty much all I can do.
it's not a 1, so it's a...
Make sure you deduct double the cost for canceling out a critical fail.
Remember. I'm looking up the cost because I don't remember. I think it's 2, so it'll be 4.
So it's a 16.
Cool. I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, okay, cool.
say you don't need our help against these cultists, and yet you want the power of the Breath of Souls. Why? Why do you need it?
It will help my people.
How?
We are tired of being confined to our haven.
What
We wish to be
confines you here?
free.
Can you not?
I might.
The
I
world
might
does
be-
not agree with Giant.
Well, maybe we can help change that.
Vorgish. Do you know of the Ivory Sanctum, Vorgish? Have you ever heard of us?
I have.
And do you know of Circadron and some of the outlier cities that I am in the government with that I don't think we ever named?
Yes.
I have much sway with all of this. I am, at my heart, purely a diplomat that knows some tricks along the way. I do not believe you should have to harness such a power just to be considered equal. You already should be equal. I can see what done as much as I can to see that you get land, acceptance, a safe place to be.
I can
I can-
help you, chance. Take the breath of souls for certainty.
How would you use the power of the Breath of Souls to aid you? You go and raise cities to the ground?
If that's what it takes.
Then why should we trust you with the key if your goal is to go destroy the world just like the cultists?
We
If you-
will not need to destroy the world if the world respects our power and our rights.
They have the power of Zestric Plains here. The Centiarch. Do I get any indication that he knows what a Centiarch is? Inside if I...
I mean, he. He doesn't look confused or anything.
And with Zestric and the power that he holds is the Mad Seer himself, Zaire, who is almost at a Centiarch status himself. And these are beings outside of our comprehension at times.
Outside
Night.
your comprehension.
It's fair.
He
But
makes a
it would-
fist with this right hand again. Slams 3 times on the arm of his throne. After a few moments, a herd of cattle is ushered in through a door behind him. He begins taking one by one. Picks it up, rips it in half, and drains the blood from each part of the animal and throws them to the side. Eating as the conversation continues.
Sir, I have no doubt that you are strong enough to hold your own against what we know as a Centaur. But what of your people? Are they strong enough? I don't want any of your people to have the fate that thousands of others have already. But not only to die, but to come back alive on their side. Have you seen that? Have you seen your own people turn against you?
Are you sure they would not use the Breath of Souls against you if they could?
I do not fear death. My people do not fear death.
But what about undead?
With the breath of souls, we will be unstoppable. The cultists cannot defeat us. We are unafraid.
Don't think you should be afraid of death. But what about the undead? What about
They will be destroyed like the living,
even if they're your own?
more so. An abomination must be put down.
Understandable. Where does that leave us? And I'll gesture at us. In that. We are not foe.
I could let you go.
What would that take?
Nothing. You may leave now. Unless, of course, you know another way to open the breath.
I'll turn left and right.
I have no way.
Nope. I have no idea.
What if we did? Again, why should we let you have that power?
You would gain great favor.
At what cost?
Opening the breath of souls.
But after that, would you destroy cities? Would you kill entire populations of people to maintain your place in this world?
Already destroyed a ship today.
That would depend on the sea. He
Understandable.
kind of at this point. Roll another insight.
17.
All you can tell is he's considering. You can see his mind working behind the bronzy green or the coppery green eyes. He's trying to decide whether to tell you something.
Whatever it is you're thinking, you'd better tell us if you want what you want. If you actually want to achieve that.
Threat and roll intimidation.
Not trying to say it in a threatening manner, I'm trying to say it in a, if you tell us, then maybe we'll actually give you. Not in like a we're gonna attack you and kill you if you don't do this. Like I'm not trying to be running about it.
Alright, roll a persuasion check.
24.
Far away is he?
30-ish feet.
Hold on before you resolve that roll real quick.
Please, somebody cast Charm Person or Friends on this guy. That would be just...
No, let's not. But
Do we really want to try and do this again?
Oh, you made shit about it earlier.
no.
You would all die.
Fluff is not saying that. That's me saying that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I'm going to use bend luck to bend his luck badly. So it's minus 1d4.
Okay.
He doesn't know it, it's not like friends. I don't want to kill us, is what I'm saying.
Do I roll or do you roll?
I guess I can roll.
Okay.
It would be me if, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
3. So minus 3.
I'm gonna start saying some gibberish under my breath and use cutting words against him.
Oh, why? Alright.
Oh,
What is that?
it's the anti-bardic inspiration. It literally does a 1.
I'll also use Ben Luck to add 1 to my rolls, so 25. Yeah, not a pencil.
I was just making sure he didn't roll a 20. That's all I wanted.
Fluff is like looking at her boss, like popping them in and out. We're trying.
Alright.
I got
So
nothing.
you say that, and Borgish looks at you. You see the workings in his mind turning click into place as he makes his decision. There's a being. And us all movements, including you, should you free it.
Centiarch?
What kind of a being?
A being of great power.
Centiarch?
God, perhaps.
You know the god of the breath of souls? How? May I ask?
Insight check his response.
Roll your insight. He looks at you, Cayman. Tell you no more.
Natural 20.
So you agree to help. He knows more. He's not gonna tell you.
I mean, at this point, I don't think we have a choice. I think we need to stop the problem.
A lap to minutes and we'll get back to you, Vorgish.
Rips apart another cow.
What exactly
Sucks some
would you
blood out
ask
of it.
this being for?
What?
What would you ask this being for if you freed it?
It's boon. You could also ask for its boon. Should you free it, I'm sure.
Just a question. Is this boon like a specific thing, or is it an open-ended wish type thing that you get?
He has told you he will not tell you more unless you agree to.
Well, can you give us just like 30 seconds?
You
Everyone,
may deliberate.
All right, everyone, come in here real quick. Let's talk about this.
I don't think we have a choice. Like, we need to stop the cult.
It seems somewhat clear that we'll either have to fight our way out of here or go along with.
I don't think
What,
we
you
should.
said
Let us leave.
You said you could leave.
Right, but then we're not getting in the Breath of Souls if we leave.
Maybe. Even if we did, we would now have to fight him, I assume. And them. I'll point at his people with my head.
Assignment is to keep the cultists from tampering with drugs.
The idea is anyone from tampering with the Breath of Souls, but yes.
I don't know that setting of being free, letting the giants have their way with the Breath of Souls is exactly step up.
You might be right. I mean, we don't know the being that controls it. We don't know if the being would actually be grateful. We don't know if it's good or evil entity. We don't know what the Breath of Souls controls. Human's kind of freaking out. We don't know what the Breath of Souls controls. We don't know what powers it can have.
Character is freaking out.
I mean, we didn't know any of that before we started on our way towards the Breath of Souls in the first place.
Yes, but we were stopping cultists from getting in, not trying to barter with a giant over releasing its power.
At least the giant's end goal isn't necessarily completely evil.
To crush all those in their way?
Wants quality, if we...
But by what means? Do they want to be equals, or do they want to reign over the people of danger?
Right.
So we weigh the lesser of two evils here, at this point.
If we're not going along with Vorgish, then how are we stopping the cultists from getting and tampering with the Breath of Souls, which was our original mission here?
Orcish seems to know where it is already, and he seems bent on this. He might do the work for us, without us helping him.
That doesn't mean that they'll win.
No, but it means that we can take out the winner.
I know that the cultists have the key. I'm likely to close this deal, a deal with the cultists.
So the giants teaming up with cultists is even worse.
I think the best option is to help these people, and perhaps whatever boon we could possibly get if we have to turn on somebody. Would you rather turn on Sarah or the giants?
Do
I'd
not
rather turn on
tamper with soul energy. I don't think take any boon, no matter what it is, no matter how good it seems, or evil it seems. Ragnar knows. And I know that you probably know that. Do you know that, Raxus?
What did you say to Ragnus? Something about Ragnar?
Yeah. Do not toy with soul energy, or it might be lost. Ragnar should know that the best, right, Raxus?
What? I honestly, I don't know a whole lot about my grandfather. Just really that he was a great hero. That's about it.
A soulless hero, but yes.
Nobody knows that except for me.
So,
Fluff wouldn't have said that because Fluff didn't. Is that common knowledge?
no.
No, that
That's
was
Chris knowledge.
that was me, not Fluff.
Well, I'm not gonna tell
It's
Raxus.
Forball here.
I'm not gonna tell Raxus. Never mind, Raxus. Just everyone know, if we do this and there is a boon, be very careful, because we don't know who controls the Breath of Souls. We don't know what they are taking out of the souls before they are reborn. It could be good, it could be evil. Nobody knows. You guys know what the Breath of Souls does? Or what places of powers do? Can you explain that?
Not really.
Alright, well, out of character.
I'm pretty sure Jack Stone explained a semblance of this.
Isn't it basically like a veil between our realm and like the soul realms or other
Yeah, like the
realms?
spirit realm.
Like it's
Yeah.
a thinner veil that can connect the two realms, and when it's tampered with, it causes all sorts of problems.
Yeah, and out of character, you might know this in character too, but out of character, Centiarchs each control a place of power, and their job as gods, godlike, is to filter the souls in some way so they can be reborn anew. Each one is different. I don't know what the Breath of Soul does. Is what I've been communicating in character. Is all I'm saying.
Well,
So just so you guys know.
I think our answer is that we're teaming up.
I'll leave it up to you. It seems best that way.
I want to try and clear this up in my mind. Being a place of power, I thought the cultists were after the Breath of Souls because it's a veil between realms. So is that actually the power of the Breath of Souls, or is it this being that they're after?
Actually, I don't know the cultist plan. It's different at every place of power. What they have been doing is they've been tainting the places of powers, attacking the Centiarchs that guard it, or coming to deals. It's different in every case, so I don't know what it will be for this one. But all I can tell you is that they're going to try to tamper with it in some way.
Maybe they're trying to absorb that power like they did Sestri.
No, well, maybe. I don't know their specific plan. They've been tainting the souls, and I don't know why. But that's what I've been doing before I came here. Is trying to stop that from happening.
Theoretically, if we could talk to this Centiarch before the cultists get there, could we at least prepare for some sort of attack to try and help protect the Centiarch?
The Earths are all powerful.
Maybe.
The idea is the Centiarch may or may not let the cultists do it. Or cultists have found a way to pacify the Centiarch. Also, this specific place of power, the Breath of Souls, it's been lost for a long time, and no one knows who this Centiarch is, or if there even is one. Sometimes there cannot be one, or if it died, or not. This is the first time I'm hearing that there is actually maybe a Centiarch. He didn't say Centiarch or Ish. He just said a person of power, near God. I don't know if that means a Centiarch. I don't know if that means they'll protect their place of power. They should, but gods are as finicky as people.
At the very
Believe
least,
me, I know.
That much is true. So what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting we leave and do nothing, or
I don't know. I'm paralyzed.
I think we'll have a better chance
Yeah,
of protecting
paralysis is not useful?
if
I
we
realize.
and can talk to this being first.
If that is an option, I do not even know if the being could understand us, or if they're willing to talk to us, or if there even is one. No? It's a plan, though, if it
Would it be
exists.
beneficial, or would it be harmful? Should we just stay out?
I don't know. It's different, every single one. You may have heard the Centiarch of suffering and pain and torment would probably let the cultists in, but the Centiarchs of bravery, the sisters, would probably try to tooth and nail to kill the cultists. And so many more examples out there.
Basically, we need to find out what's there before the cultists get there.
Well, I thought that was impossible, but now it doesn't seem impossible.
if we don't take the mortgage up on his deal, it certainly seems that we are not welcome here at all. We will not be progressing to anywhere near the breath of souls. So being able to talk to the Sentiar is likely out.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Chris?
I'm suggesting that if we do not go along with Vorgish, that we will quite clearly not be welcome anywhere near this Shattered Crown area. So unless we get super sneaky, we will not be talking to this Sentiarch.
Matt, check your phone.
I got you.
You're saying that we should accept his offer?
It's not a great offer, but it certainly seems like the... I hesitate to say best because it doesn't seem great, but it certainly seems like
Better than waiting for
more
people
in
to
line
show
with,
up?
with our goals.
If we,
Unless to just completely abandon this and
our options are pretty much we either stay here and help the giant, in which that can lead to whatever consequences, or we leave and hope to God that the cultists don't find a better way to sneak past the giants than what we did and open the Breath of Souls on their own. Or, worse, the cultists come in, possibly wipe out the giants, and then still make it to the Breath of Souls.
If push comes to shove, we know the cultists can potentially take over the giants' minds and do whatever they want anyway.
So, the options are, I think, pretty clear that we either help the giant or the cultists have a very, very high chance of success. Especially if you think about the power that Zestrik has. If Zer's able to control even a portion of that, he would definitely be able to get himself as close to the Breath of Souls as possible without the giants even knowing.
It's decided.
We ready?
Yeah.
Vorgish. Vorgish, the voracious, looks down at you. He knows once.
We agree to help you. The best of our abilities.
Have you a way to open the breath?
Yes.
How? I will ask.
Yeah, you want to disclose that information?
At Mir's word, he stands, the ground shaking beneath you as his mighty weight stands. Looks down at the group of you. Who will follow thee?
Tell us everything you know. About the Breath of Souls, about this being, about its food. If you wish for us to open the Breath of Souls to you.
What do you want to know?
I just asked.
One question at a time. There's much to discuss.
There's so many questions to ask. You know... Is it a Centiarch? And what are they the Centiarch of?
I know their power is as great as a god. Whether they are Centiarch or not.
What kind of power do they wield?
Life eternal. Great powers. The ability to grant life eternal to their followers.
And what boon do you seek from them? Is life eternal?
And the power that comes with it.
What power is that?
Strength. Speed. Abilities beyond a mortal form.
You're talking about... No. I'll reach up and touch my neck.
Talking about what?
You will
No.
follow me. He turns and begins to head towards the door at the camp.
I silently, as quiet as possible under my breath, turn my head to the group and say, we cannot let him get this power. And then walk forward.
He turns his head and looks back towards you and says, and then continues walking. Boom, boom, boom. Do you follow him?
Yeah.
No.
He walks through the door, and behind it is there's another doorway ahead, and then to the right there is a staircase that sort of spirals downwards.
As I see that Cayman's not going anywhere, I'm gonna turn around. Why are you not coming?
It's unsafe.
Well, yes. I think we all agree about that.
You don't understand.
Okay. But we've already agreed to help. Now, if we go back on our word, I think that that's probably the end of our lives.
No. Would not be.
Well, do you
would
have
wish
any...
it to but you would wish it to be. I cannot wish it to be again.
What would you suggest then?
I don't know.
You're a helpful sort. Well, if you do live through this, perhaps fill out that paperwork for us. Okay?
I'll go with you. At the threat of paperwork, I go with you.
All right,
But no, I'll go with you.
the giant king leads you down the spiraling stairway, moving slowly so that the shorter-legged followers can keep up. And hop down, get down on all fours and then drop down each step. They're pretty massive. Except for Fluff, I guess he just fly around. And that's where we'll end the session. Pick up next week.
Gross.
Okay, so is Ren a Centiarch then?
No.
That's what I thought.
Good session, everybody.
Like this.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I see why I'm here.
It's all coming together. Well, to our viewers, we'll be picking up with the 6 o'clock session next Tuesday, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for the Crest of Darkness campaign that deals with the fall of Emperor David. This campaign will pick up next Tuesday as well at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll see what happens. Get down to the entrance to the Breath of Soul.
Oh, he was ripping cows apart.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're all
Oh, I
rolling.
got King.
Good.
You bastard.